p.m.
You can face it towards us for the live. Oh shit, this no longer has. I forgot about the intro. I probably should have just turned that down instead of shut it off. Welcome to Make It Make Sense, guys. We are live and we got some lovely ladies here with us today and a birthday boy coming in hot. You know what I mean? And we're going to have some fun, have some real ass discussions to make it make sense. You know what I mean? I don't always have to be right, but if you're going to come in here with some nonsense, I'm going to make you make it make sense. Don't just say shit to say shit. Because feelings aren't facts, and if you can't articulate your point, you're just fucking talking, okay? Sometimes we need yes or no answers. No, yes, but. No, but. I mean, you do what you want, but I'm going to make fun of you for it. Anyway, with that being said, let's get this shit started, and we're going to go around the table introducing everybody. Name, age, what you do for a living, and where you're from, and current relationship status. And we'll start with this lovely lady in the orange across from me.
Name, age, where I'm from?
Yeah.
And what I do?
Mm-hmm. And your relationship status.
Oh.
And your relationship status.
I'm just kidding.
It's complicated.
Right.
Like on Facebook where like it's complicated.
Right? Okay. Hello. My name is Jessica. I am 32 years old. I'm originally from Arizona, born and raised, so been here my whole life. And I am a stay-at-home mompreneur. That bitch. That's pretty much it.
Oh, shit, excuse me.
And your relationship status?
Oh, yeah. I'm in a relationship with Troy. I'm in an open relationship with Troy.
On my end, or with women. Don't just be saying you're out here
Right.
getting dick down in Dallas. Anyway, and you, Miss Lady?
I'm Cass. I'm 32. I'm from New Mexico. I'm in a relationship, polyamorous, and I work in construction.
Nice.
Legendary. Anthony. I'm a grown-ass man. What I do for a living, I'm in sales. I'm a sales director. From Portland, Oregon, raised in Arizona, Chandler specifically. That's relevant. Relationship status. It's weird to say this out loud, but taken.
And it's his birthday.
Ding.
Happy birthday.
My name's Katie. I am single. From the last time you asked me this, it was last week. Still single. I'm a therapist. Did you say age?
Mm-hmm. You didn't say it yet.
33. And I'm from
Damn.
You're like older than me. It's fine. I'll allow it. It's fine.
I am Consuelo, and I do a few things. I work in college admissions, and I am a Reiki master and finishing certifications for end-of-life doula work. I am 37, and...
Damn.
Have
you ever had a dream?
Oh, shit. I mean, take that one.
I am born and raised in Arizona as well, and I am divorced and single.
Nice. Oh, it's my turn, huh? That went fast. You guys are fast.
You weren't paying attention, that's why I went fast.
I was letting everybody know we're live on Instagram. It's tough doing all this shit by yourself. I have to fucking switch camera.
Where the fuck is Dennis at?
Switch camera angles.
Shout out
I gotta
to Dennis.
make sure that the
Right?
microphones are working. I gotta make sure the sound effects are working.
Where's Dennison at?
He said somebody's flying in. I don't know. I need to replace Dennison.
Troy's hiring.
Yeah, I need a producer. You guys, I'm doing all this shit by myself, from the
Did he?
podcasting to posting, everything. It's fucking exhausting.
Producer, sponsorship.
So if you want to know what I do, then I'm everything. Okay, I do everything. I'm a barber. I own my own business. I'm 36 as of last week.
Yeah.
And I'm in a relationship with that one over there. And
Could be anybody. Could be any of us.
right. And what was the other questions I asked?
Where are you from?
I'm from here, born and raised. And yeah, let's move on.
I have Instagram up here so I can see the comments.
Oh, nice, perf. Because we need to look at those.
I got them.
I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, I got them.
All kinds of shit. Okay. I got comments.
Do you want me to track YouTube comments for you?
I gotta put it on all. No, because like last time we were
Well,
on
the
YouTube,
comments
somebody.
will show on the TV.
Oh, okay.
Well, all of them should show, but last time only YouTube was coming up. Anyway, which one do you guys want to start with? Let's get fun with it. Are you proud or disappointed with your last relationship? We're gonna start with you.
Oh, God.
Are you ready?
So, yeah. I would say my last relationship was my marriage.
Damn. How long ago was that?
4 years ago, we divorced.
How long were you guys together?
Almost, I think, 18 years.
The fuck did you leave for?
A handful of reasons.
That you don't want to discuss? Name one thing you did
potentially.
wrong and one thing he did wrong.
I would say I would own, not being a better homemaker.
Oh, so you were lazy.
would
I'm just
You're like, I want to go home immediately.
Let me finish my wine and I'm out.
You invited yourself.
And I sat right here.
There's a lot of Scorpio energy here too.
And then on his behalf, and I'm just gonna say this was my experience. So if he sees this and challenges me and tries to lawyer up, sorry. Just not keeping the sanctity of our relationship. So letting too many people know our business, especially other females. So not keeping the relationship secret. But back to, am I proud and disappointed? I will say both. Proud that I was able to find someone and get married and go down that path. And we had a beautiful boy, and I'm grateful for that. I'm disappointed. I felt like I did everything I could to keep it together, right? But I only worked with what I knew and what kind of healing I had at that time. Yeah. I'm disappointed that it was a failed marriage that, kind of hurts in my bucket.
Who left, you or him?
He initiated and wanted to separate, kind of dragged his feet, so I drew up the papers.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, next.
I'm both also. So I am both proud and disappointed. Definitely proud because it just opened my eyes to a lot of healing that I had been hiding from, and relationships are our best teachers. Disappointed that I stayed in it as long as I did. And that is, I would say both.
Okay. Yeah.
You talking actual relationship, not situationship.
Actual.
Gotta clarify.
Actual relationship.
Actual relationship.
It's about to go down.
That's a fact. I'm proud. I'm not proud of decisions that were made within it, but I'm proud of the result, because without the result, it doesn't drive me to be where I'm at. I thought I could hear myself. So for me, it's
You can, but they can't.
got you. It's more about the lesson, essentially. And I think the lesson was important. Like, I feel like I became a man after that.
Word.
Yeah,
Nice.
Man.
that part.
Sensational.
Hello, Scorpio.
I'm proud of my last relationship. It was toxic, though. I'm proud of it because I got to grow through that and learn what I don't want in a man and what I wouldn't ever deal with in a relationship. He's a good dad, just not a great partner.
What was toxic about it?
Domestic violence.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're just like, I broke his nose.
Oh, shit, you were the one beating up?
No, he started it. He started it, but I
It was so toxic. I'd be hitting niggas.
She's like, he's a great dad.
beanie.
I've got a wild left hook.
Broke his nose.
I broke his nose.
I told him 4 or 5 times to pick up his fucking underwear. He was,
Good right
he's
foot.
like, I'm doing the best I can. And I told him, shut up, bitch. All right.
Yeah, but we're cool now, but
Okay.
good friends, horrible partners, and that's okay.
What about you?
I would say overall, I mean, I feel like it would be proud and disappointed, just like Katie said, because there were a lot of things that I learned that I was like very emotionally unavailable, and so I was attracting someone who was also emotionally unavailable, and it was like we were platonic roommates. Like it wasn't very like romantic, there wasn't a lot of love, it was just like something from high school that was like, let's see if this will work. And we lived together for like 6 months, and I was like, I feel like we're in the same bed, but we're like a million miles away. And plus I was like, could I actually see a future with this person? And like deep down I always knew no, but I think that we like women try to like hold on, just like we were talking about, like we knew but we like held on just to like not be alone. So just disappointed in myself for settling for something like that, but proud because I learned a lot. I learned what I did want, and I think it helped me become a lot more feminine, because I've talked about it on the podcast before. Like he was making exponentially more money than me and still having me pay half, and I'm like, in hindsight, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? So it was like I was a roommate.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
This isn't the air mattress dude that.
no.
I was like,
No,
are we
the
bringing
air
that up? Are we
mattress
doing
guy.
I had that.
I love the nicknames.
I didn't really like date him. It was just like, let's hang out. And then
Okay.
once I got there, I was like, oh, I gotta go. Like it was, yeah. I've only ever had like 3 boyfriends before Troy since high school. So, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't really know what a relationship was before this.
Aw.
So cute. Oh my god.
So now that I'm in this feminine seat, I'm like, y'all gotta get over here.
Right?
What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, save yourself!
You're like,
Right? I'm like, act like you don't know how to use gym equipment. I promise you, someone will come over and try to help you.
throw it? What are you supposed to
Oh,
do with it?
that's where
I
I'll meet
unlocked my
somebody well
car.
rounded.
LOL.
Hey, little lady, are you in trouble?
Right?
Damsel in distress.
Is there a cowboy in the...
It fucking works. Why do you think I got this hat?
Like, oh darn, can't pay my phone bill.
Right.
Trying to get somebody else in here to pay bills. Anyway,
With your lasso.
my last relationship, proud, not disappointed. It was, I had my first 2 kids with that one. So, definitely proud and learned a lot about me. That's when I found out that I was actually capable of providing for a fucking woman. And yeah, there's disappointment that like split up a family. But other than that, like we're still good. She's good with her. Everybody's good. So I'm proud because I got 2 beautiful children out of it, and they rock. So yeah, cool. All right, you guys are easy crowd. Camera, doing it all. What is the most common lie told by men and women? We're gonna start with you. It's fucking fly.
I know.
I hope the edits don't pick that shit up.
You have my mic. I want to be on it.
The most common lie.
Are we
I don't know, that's a hard one.
Are we answering for both,
Both.
men and women?
Yeah,
Or
both. What's the
ourselves.
most common lie women tell to men, and what's the most common lie men tell to women?
Probably like men telling women that they're like single or like more available than they are. Like, no, I haven't. Like, I haven't met anybody like you, or, you know, like, I haven't had sex in a couple weeks, and it was, like, last night. So,
And
usually, like, more...
Me and my baby mom, she still stays
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, like, it's a complicated situation.
She sleeps in the kids' room.
We're sharing a car right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not together, but we live together type thing. Yeah, just a lot more.
What about you lying ass bitches? What do you guys
Let's
say?
get to that.
Um,
I'm on my way.
I'm leaving in 5.
I'm just getting in the shower.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just now seeing this.
Oh, shit.
I would definitely say.
Yeah.
Because no the fuck. I saw it when it came through.
I highlighted it.
Sorry, I thought EOD meant end of December. Send it down.
So that was
Yeah.
a fucking lie.
So if they see your messages, they're just deciding to respond when they want.
How rude.
Really?
Yes, but now I am too hurt. I am and shocked and offended and hurt.
What about you?
I said on my way.
Well, I know, but for men and women.
On my
And
way.
into
For
the
men
mic.
too?
Around the corner.
Into the mic.
I don't know.
Come on, people lie to you.
That's why I said on my way. I'm around the corner.
Those are basic lies. Those are anybody lies. Like, that's the most common lie men tell to women.
I'm 6 foot when they're 5'11".
Hey, you're supposed to round.
That's guy
Not my
math.
world.
I'm 5'2".
Not my world.
Yikes.
I don't know. What?
Cover above the title.
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
Oh my god.
Stood on a throne of light.
I'm just trying to think.
I
I think
know him.
one time my ex lied to me about where he was, but at the time I had his location and he didn't know. So just like I already knew where he was. But
So where they're
You
at?
had the location and he still lied? Does
yeah,
he-
but he didn't know I had his
Oh,
location.
so you're sneaky.
How did he not know? You have to initiate it.
I did.
Oh, you
You did.
She's like, "Hi."
Is this back to the
Got this on
relationship?
Yeah.
okay.
This was right before I broke his nose.
Now I see why his nose is broke. Where were you at?
No, but to be fair, like I saw him in bed with another woman and still stayed. So then that made me kind of crazy, and then that's when I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Let me go ahead and see your location at all times, like a fucking psycho. But whatever.
Well, yeah, shit, we've been hey.
Man, we've all done some.
Hey.
We've all been a little cray-cray sometimes.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
All right. What about you, dog?
I think the biggest lie overall that is told is I don't care. I think
From men or
Both
women?
ends?
in general,
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
not
just
that
go with
mad.
that first.
I'm
I
not
don't
mad.
care.
Do
People
what you
care.
want.
It's very rare that people don't care actually. And genuinely you can tell because they move like they don't care, which again is rare. But for women, the biggest lie is I'm fine or I'm okay. No question. Biggest lie for men, I don't know because I don't lie about height. Like that's not my world.
You can't. Like you couldn't.
To me, that's lame.
Do you lie about inches?
All right, so I'm gonna tell a real story, and this is I'm gonna tell a real story, and if you know, you know.
I'd like to know from the
Gonna go to a
men.
break?
The
Is that
only
something they
time-
lie about?
Oh, I can speak for my experience.
And then Troy will answer.
First of all, I'm 6'5" and I'm black.
enough
So
said.
if I wasn't doing what I should be doing, the information would be well known. If you know what I'm saying. But I always tell people I'm 2 inches. Every girl I've ever met before we ever started getting into it.
Same.
That's the lie. I'm only 2 inches.
From the ground.
I'm trying to boom boom. But it's under promise and over deliver. You hear that, you
You've been waiting
laugh.
all night to say
There's
that.
no
You've been
expectation.
waiting all night for that.
It just happened.
I feel like that was rehearsed.
No.
No, it's just
I think he went to school for
Yeah.
like comebacks.
Oh, for sure.
style. But yeah, I think I don't know. Men
So
lie about a
you-
lot of stuff.
Lie,
Mike,
so
Mike,
that-
Mike.
You under promise. You
So
know
then
what I
they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
Under
it's
promise.
actually
Under
for.
promise, over deliver.
mean? In general, due to lie about having a big one, don't.
Right.
And due to have
Why?
Something don't need to lie.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
So you underpromise, overdeliver?
Yeah, why not? Just like if you really know, and guys know this, if you meet a girl, you should always tell her the first time's not gonna be that great. Because we're gonna get a second round, and I know what's gonna happen.
Why?
You guys don't have the same like
Because
sensations, etc.
anticipation.
Boom.
It's like at the end of the day, it's anticipation. No matter, I mean, it's not always like that. Sometimes you impress yourself.
You're
You're like, God damn,
But it's not
I'm still going.
guaranteed. It's like,
But 9 out of 10 times, because we're just so excited to get some new pussy, it's over. Like,
You're like, hey, this is
yeah, but the second time you're like, oh, I'm adjusted.
yeah.
It's like the second week of school. You know, you're like, you know what to
Like, I
expect.
got my syllabus signed.
It's like those pizza rolls right out the oven.
I started like PTSD from those, though. Like, literally PTSD.
We'd be lying we'd be like,
About to go.
and then we get in there and you're like, so yeah, but okay, those are your lies. Most common lies men tell women and women tell men.
I would agree with Jess about being single on both ends because I feel like it's
Girls
like,
be lying about that?
Yeah, I feel like I've heard girls lie about that. Like, oh, I'm single, but there's always like something. You know, there's always so it's either you're single or you're not.
And they're still hung up on their ex.
Yeah, like still hung up on their ex, or still just even like talking to their ex, or
Yeah,
you know,
I never
like,
believe.
Or saying you're in
I
a
never
relationship
believed
and you're
there's-
not, just to get rid of a dude.
Oh yeah. Like I have a boyfriend.
I have done that. I'm guilty of that. Like not having a boyfriend, but just like wanting to be left alone and be like, I have a boyfriend. Well, I'm like, one time this guy's like, where is he? I'm like, work. I like couldn't think of something quick enough. I'm like, he's a minor. I don't know. He's like, he works in the mines. Like, I don't know.
At 12:30 a.m.?
What are you doing in the club? I'm like, I don't know. Like, foot in mouth. Fuck. Yeah, I'm a really bad liar because I just laugh. So, yeah, I would say the single, or even just being like, I'm single. Like, I feel like that second single is a guilt
Right.
single.
Like, oh, you're talking
Yeah,
to 10 people
like
on
I'm
your lineup.
single. What the fuck does that mean?
Right.
It's a guilt, that second one, unless you have like a stutter that we don't know about. single, right? So I would say that, and then
Not the stutter shame.
yeah, well, no, never the stutter shame. I'm just saying, but if you did that, then I would understand,
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like it's like putting that out there to be more like guilt. And then for women, I would like agree with Anthony. I'm like, I'm not that mad, but then like you're like blowing up your
yeah.
best friend's phone.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't matter.
yeah, are you mad? I'm like, no, it's fine. But I'm like in my notes app, like writing your deadline. Like,
Bring it up like 2 months later.
2 years later, like you're drunk, and I'm like, remember that one?
You have a voodoo doll and you're like poking it while he's gone.
That's just that. Poking voodoo dolls?
Breaking down.
Bitches be crazy.
What about you?
So I have two for men.
Oh, damn. They be lying to you, huh?
A little bit. That's why I'm still single. Yay, me. I want to get to know you while they're like trying to like
trying to
rip
smash.
your
Sounds like
pants
one of
off.
Troy's lies.
That's a good bar.
That's why he laughs. That's why
There's
he
truth. There's
laughs.
so much truth to it.
I really want to get to know you
know why you
while they're
guys
like
do that,
literally
though.
trying to unhinge your bra. But I really want to get to know you inside my bra.
Yes.
But why not just be like direct?
Yeah,
Just like, hey, I'm really
exactly.
Be
Direct.
direct.
Show me
Yeah, I
your.
wanna
If
have
men
sex
told
with
you,
you.
if
You
men
don't
told
answer.
you what they wanted from you, nobody would ever get anything done because we don't know anything about wanting anything from you but sex initially. So it's like, hey, my name's Troy. Would you like to fuck? No, that's not going to work for nobody. You know what I mean?
It's just
But
annoying to
what
be
if
like,
the person
what
you
do do
approach
for a
is
living?
like,
And,
But
like,
women
pretend
fall
to
in
care.
love with what they hear, men fall in love with what they see. So you have to be persuaded out of your draws. Like, we don't. Because
It's
you
like
can
a
walk.
sale.
Because you could. Yes, exactly. We're
Yeah.
door-to-door salesmen, and you're the person at home who has to let us come in and demonstrate our product. Okay. Now we have to hit every house in the neighborhood. That's why men talk to so many women, because we have to talk to so many women in order to give a demonstration to see if you even want the fucking product. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes. But
just think it's
we
whack.
initially want sex, and if we were to lead with that, only certain men can lead with that. You know what I
Like
mean?
who?
Attractive men.
Okay.
Attractive
High
men.
level men.
Not necessarily high level, because there's broke attractive dudes, and they can lead that way too. Because women know if you're hot, if they want to fuck you or not. You know what I mean? I don't waste too much time. I get very sexual very quickly in any conversation I have with a woman. It's just what's the word I'm looking for? Immediate flirting, sexual innuendos, jokes, and all that other stuff. And if you play back, then I know I can continue that conversation in that direction. But most men have to tell you, oh no, I'm really trying to get to know you, and I want to see what you're about. I like women with deep personalities and all that. We don't give a fuck until we fuck.
Yep.
So
So that's number one. Another one is we're just friends. It means nothing.
what the
like
girl?
When like
female?
like if you're in a
This is men and women,
if you're in a
right?
rental, no, I'm
That's
saying
a
this
man
for
lie.
men. If you're in a relationship and they're close with another female, and you're like, oh, it's kind of crossing some boundaries for me. Oh, but it means nothing. We're just friends. It's fine. But you're, like you said, intuition, spidey sense is going off. Like, what is going on over
Like
there?
they definitely fuck, or what?
Or something. They've got some kind of emotional tie that maybe if you're not in the picture anymore, they would grow it, which happened to me.
All right,
Sounds
women.
like
What do women lie about?
I would say when they say it doesn't bother me, it's fine.
Anything
That
bothers us.
doesn't bother me.
Anything bothers us.
Right?
Yeah, like if the guy's like, does this bother you? No, it doesn't bother me. I think that's a lie on our end.
All right. Definitely, that's my brother. Is a common ass lie women tell. Is we're just friends because men are not trying to be friends with women. You don't have a real male friend. If given the opportunity, he's going to fuck you.
Absolutely.
So, but women love the idea of having a male friend because you get all of the boyfriend attention without having to do any girlfriend shit. So it's like, I mean, a lot of times the male friend picks up tabs when you guys go out to drink. You get protection, you get attention, and all this shit. And even deflection. Like if you have guys coming up to talk to you that you don't want to talk to you, like, oh, you got my boyfriend or whatever.
Right.
But no straight man is looking at a woman that he finds attractive and is saying to himself, I bet you she's really good at Madden. You know what I mean? Like she's probably really good at poker, and I bet you we could have a good fucking time together. Like that's not on our minds. We're trying to have sex. So, but those type of beta males take that route because they are hopeless romantics. But at the end of the day, he's clearly hasn't done enough for you to be attracted to him, which is why you put him in the friend zone in the first place.
So can I ask you more on this? Because I love where you're going.
Go.
So if you're in a relationship or even a marriage and they've got this close female friend that just and they're bringing them closer and closer, and why do that? Why do that?
Why the man does that?
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get some new pussy. Men and
When you're
women-
married?
Yes, and at the end of the day, men and women don't look at sex overall the same way. Most women are not having detached sex. Matter of fact, as a woman has sex with a man over and over and over again, she releases oxytocin each time, and she grows to fall in love with that man. Men only release it once he's had sex with her a bunch of times,
Right.
and then he grows feelings for her.
So then what's the point of getting married and having a, what is it called?
A union,
A union,
a commitment.
I think that the question you're asking, number one, is specific to you and your experience,
Of
which
course.
I totally understand.
that's why I'm like, give me insight.
I think it's when you're being that specific, it's tough for somebody else to give insight on what one person was thinking.
Yeah.
True. I don't know what your ex was thinking, but what I will say is just men in general.
What he's saying is right. I'm just saying, like, we
Yeah.
don't know exactly his thoughts.
But
you knew that too, which is why you're asking the question.
Like
You
it's
knew
She's
why are
like,
they getting
she sat
close?
with it. She
Right.
processed it.
it's real simple, and that's why I like doing this podcast because it doesn't matter who's on the panel, what we're talking about. In general, this is how things work. Okay, are there exceptions to rules? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Is there some handsome, charming, successful, intelligent, all that shit you just asked, man who wants you and only you? Possibly. Is it likely? Not at all. So
you're telling me don't get married again?
no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that to find all the things that you listed that you wanted earlier before we started the show. You guys are being filled in.
Fucking fly.
Yeah, the fly is irritating the fuck out of me. But that the likelihood that that man is going to want you and only you is slim to none, because men don't move that way. Men, I mean, as a woman, you can only bring a child to term once a year. I can get 2 to 3 bitches pregnant a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
So yeah, every day. So we're just built different. We don't have the same emotions tied to sex. And women are more selective about sexual partners for a reason, because you can have a child, because it can risk your health, because of the consequences that come with it. The men don't have the same consequences, so we don't move sexually the same way. And again, like I said, men have to sleep with the same woman over and over and over and over and over again to get that oxytocin release. Then they fall in love. Or when they hold their first child. But a woman has it every single time she has sex with a man. So the more she has sex with the man, the more she falls in love with that man.
Okay.
Right? But we just don't look at it. We are built to have detached sex. There is literally no emotion behind it until we decide that we like you. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which means that's why I say, like, women get to choose who gets sex, men choose who get commitment. So once the sex is given up, it's on you to continue to keep that man interested in you. And it's not just because you gave him sex, now he owes you everything. You still owe him being a solid woman, a friendly woman, a pleasant woman, somebody he wants to be around, because the rest of these bitches are irritating. So it's not hard to keep a man, but it's not extremely realistic, especially when you have a quality man, to keep him all to yourself all the time, especially because that also doesn't turn you on. Women don't want a man that other women don't want. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get bored.
Yeah.
You're going to get bored. If there's no excitement, if there's no, if you're not in fear of losing him, you're going to treat him as such. So that can also push a man to go do some of these things, because he's not even getting the attention from you. So he might as well go look for it elsewhere. But I digress.
No, I like it. I accept that.
Did I answer what
I think
men
you
lie
said
about?
Men.
Oh, yeah.
You just only said women. You didn't say men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, everything. Yeah, the I'm 6 foot. Love that one. Shit, from 5'9" to
Shit, me
6
too.
feet. Well, I'm saying from 5'9" to 6 feet, these motherfuckers be lying. 5'10", 6 feet with shoes on. No, you're not, nigga. Those are chucks. Stop it. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. What else? Yeah, my baby mama ain't moved out yet. I'm about to put in work.
Hey, you really believe it when you say it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It
I'm about to tear that apart. You know you're
You
not.
really try. You really
You're
try.
not.
You really
I'm clapping all of those cheeks. And then,
2 claps later.
it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get in there, shit,
Dick
you
Quill.
came for you got in there. Yeah. I have a condom on.
Why would you lie about that?
I don't. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you, but I'm like saying like why lie about
Have you ever taken a shower with a jacket on?
that? No.
There you
Try
go.
it.
Bro, you can settle real quick.
That's why you'd lie.
Right? You
Well, no, I get
ever
it.
worn a raincoat?
I get it. I'm just saying like why not just be like straight up about it? Just
Straight up about what?
about wearing one.
I don't want to wear a condom.
Yeah, like why not just say it?
Why not just reach out down and check?
I mean, to answer that question, why the real question is why lie ever about anything?
True.
But at the end of the day, I mean,
But
here's the thing. Again, like I said, women choose who gets sex. You have to be better at vetting the men that you allow inside of you.
Men do what works.
And men do what they can.
Like if it works, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're only doing what you respond to. So we'll try sweet. If that doesn't work, we'll try asshole. If asshole don't work, we'll try friend. If friend don't work, we're moving the fuck on. You know what I mean? But we're gonna try all of these things to get what we want from you. And it's up to you to vet that man to see if he's worth you giving it to. But at the end of the day, you also have to take into consideration, what do you want in the long term? Because that is your negotiating power, is the sex. So it's like, You don't never have to have sex with a man. You don't owe him that. You don't owe him anything sexual, but you can't go give somebody hot some free sex and then make somebody who you really want earn it when you give it, because the guy who you're making earn it is who you're making earn it knows that you gave it up to somebody else for less. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you're not going to give up sex, make sure you like, that's your MO, that you just don't give up sex until you're ready to be in a relationship. And that has to be with everybody.
Yeah, across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, no exceptions.
Because the last thing the man that you actually wants to find out is that he worked really hard for the used car. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else got to drive it, and I had to go through all these steps.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
So,
yeah.
so,
It has to be across the board.
yeah, that's what men lie about and what women lie about. What are red flags you would tell your son and your daughter to look at? Like, son for women and daughter for men to look out for when picking a long-term partner.
To tell my daughter, I would say a red flag is like his temper.
That's a good one.
To look at like how he is in like a stressful situation or with sports. Like, does he throw around his shit, or is he like...
Sports don't count.
I mean, after a
I'm
game,
saying.
I mean, I guess, but if he's to the point where he's like...
You're a hothead in sports.
You're right.
I'm like, who are you who's talking right now?
I like throw my helmet and shit.
Crazy.
But I'm also a hothead, so that's one of my red flags. Yeah, just temper, like if they're getting into like an argument or something, or if he's just like ignores her, like, you know, things like that. Or how he is with his parents, like if he's respectful to his, like to elder people, especially if he came in the house and just did some shit, like didn't say anything to, especially like my daughter's dad, I'd be like, oh no, definitely not. And then to tell my son about a woman, a red flag would be... how available she is.
How so? Sexually, or just like the bitches don't have
accessible?
no
Like, she doesn't have anything else that she's
responsibilities.
doing. Like, no hobbies, no, like, extracurriculars. Where are her parents? Why is she allowed to be here 24/7? Trying to stay the night, trying to, you know, like, just be here all the time. I mean, unless, like, her parents are shitty, and then, you know.
That happens a lot.
We become, I mean, yeah, like.
You become
Yeah.
the safe space.
But if this girl just has no life. And
You're
it's
talking
just,
about like a teenager. Okay.
yeah, but I mean, teenage, or even like college or something. Like, this bitch isn't doing anything. You know what I mean? But, or like, and it's hard, but I would, I feel like how she dressed.
Say it.
Even though I know that we're like, I want to liberate myself with my titties out and my ass out, and I have like a midriff showing right now, so I'm like, fuck. But right, but I'm talking about like young and like getting in a relationship and just being like tons of skin out everywhere you go. I get it now, being a parent and like trying to be that girl.
It's different
and, like,
when it's like your kid.
Yeah, it's different when
Yeah,
it's your
it's
kids, because
different.
it's
Super
like
young.
it's just saying something about where's the rest of your clothes. Like,
Did you buy the wrong size?
but it's also like a, I don't know. Maybe the generations are different, but I feel like it's like a respect thing, because you know what you're doing. Like,
Trying an attention.
yeah, like I have a Leo rising. I know how to get attention. I know what people do to get attention, what you're doing to like put yourself as like a bright neon light in a room. So, and also just how both of them speak to adults. Like, if they're rude to adults, either one of them, or just rude in general, red flag. Like, you could be rude to a waiter, rude to a fucking
that's the
custodian,
worst. Yeah,
just like
that's the worst.
rude. Like, nope,
What about you?
wasn't raised right.
The way red flag would be like the way they talk to other people. Like, there's a way to get your point across without being super like a dick, you know, or disrespectful.
So is that for the male or the female? Or both? Both?
Both, yeah. But as far as my girls, like, that's where I kind of, like, I disagree with you just a little bit, just because my girls do wear, I let them wear whatever they want, like, within reason, though, right? Because I just feel like people shouldn't be sexualizing clothes in general. We live in Arizona, it's hot. So if they want to wear shorter shorts, whatever, I mean, they're not going up their ass or anything like that, but I'm just like,
I think that's
shorts,
what she's talking about.
yeah.
Is like dressing.
Yeah,
like
I'm
what's
talking
out of
about
reason.
like Daisy Dukes and like
Yeah.
triple D titties,
And
like
the
oh my
age,
God.
like the
only
age
covering the
is
nipple.
important too. To,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah. So if they're like 18 or like 17, 18, and it's like big old titties out.
Yeah.
Like all the time. Like I understand that we shouldn't sexualize, but that doesn't change the biology and that doesn't change the fact that it still happens.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
so
at the end of the day, if presentation is everything.
Yeah.
So if you present yourself one way and someone treats you as such, you can't get upset about that. You know what I mean? Like if I was wearing a fireman's uniform and a fire breaks out and someone says, hey, there's a fire, you should go put it out. And I'm like, whoa, just because I'm wearing this doesn't mean that I'm a fireman. Cool your jets. Like how,
Identify.
why would you assume that I'm
I
a
identify
fireman?
as a civilian.
You know what I mean? Like, so because men don't sexualize women who don't sexualize themselves. If you're going to show everything you got, they're going to treat you as such. Like you never see a woman in a business suit being like, I mean, she may get catcalled by construction workers, but nobody in the office is sitting there like, damn, look at them titties, you know what I mean? Or treating her like a whore, you know what I mean? Because she's presenting herself as a professional.
Yeah, but also I think it's relative too, because women they get raped all the time. Does it matter what they're wearing? Some people are like, oh, well, she was wearing a short dress, she deserved it. Other people have stalkers that are like watching them for weeks and they're dressed appropriately or whatever, and they still.
Well, I mean, sure, but again, exceptions don't make rules, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, especially with social media, the not saying it doesn't happen, so I don't want to trigger anybody, but the statistics show that it's like 1 in 1,000 that shit happens to. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it's very unlikely. So, for instance, let's just change it from that type of situation. Because I was talking about it with one of my clients earlier, how weak we are as parents, especially in comparison to our parents. What I mean by that is social media has made things that are seem attainable and realistic that are completely unattainable and unlikely to happen. So, for instance, when I was 8 years old, I was 2-3 miles away from my house, and my parents had no idea where I was. There was no cell phones. There was nothing. They said, get out the house. Don't come back here unless you need something, in or out. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. We were seen and not heard. My 8-year-old's not going in the driveway without me. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because social media has made us think that people getting hit by cars and kidnapping is just running rampant. In any of the schools you went to, did you know or hear about a kid that any of the schools that you went to where someone got kidnapped? You heard it on the news, but any of the schools that you went to, did someone get kidnapped? Know what I'm saying? Yeah. No. So again, it happens, but social media has made things seem like it happens to everybody, and a lot of times, and I'm not trying to say that. Again, it doesn't happen, but a lot of times, there's a lot of men who have been accused of rape and didn't do it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that happens about the same amount that it actually does happen to women. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that, but also mitigate it. Mm-hmm. Just because it does happen to a modestly dressed woman, I would imagine that the harassment is going to happen 10 times more to the woman that is exposing it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Inviting it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's all I'm saying. And that's why it could be a red flag is because you're inviting that type of attention. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to women who don't dress that way. Yeah. But they're not inviting it, so they're mitigating the opportunity for it to happen.
Yeah, because I'm all about, like, the wear what they want, but, like, there's also, like, the fact of the matter. And it's also, like, reading the room. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we're about to be around some, like, senior citizens and, like,
We're going to church.
Yeah, like, my son and his girlfriend, and it's, like, she's going to the club. You know what I mean? Or, like, club dresses to a wedding. Where, like, what? You know, there's, like, a dress code. There's, like, things that make sense. So it's more so, like, I get that you're trying to, like, empower yourself, or that's what we think is going on here. But now, in hindsight, which is 2020, now I'm like, what were we actually doing?
Also, the question more so was about somebody that your son or daughter wants to date long term.
Yeah.
So if you're with somebody, you shouldn't be seeking, not that you're seeking, but you shouldn't be inviting attention from others if you've decided that this is your person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, again, and don't get me wrong, some girls can't hide it. I mean, I've seen girls with titties big enough they pop out of a turtleneck. Like, it happens. But, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying, Little House on the Prairie is going to be a different, right? Like, an Amish girl's going to get different attention.
yeah, you know, that's all I'm saying is especially when it comes to the relationship, like, it's more of a respect thing for your partner because, again, it just increases the likelihood that people are going to talk to you. Because those kind of outfits scream, I'm single. Same thing with women's Instagrams. You know what I mean? Or their social medias in general.
You can just tell.
We'll have a whole social media, like, bitch, this says single, that's why you're getting hollered at. Even though you got a man that you love and all this other stuff, but every single picture is your ass. Every single picture is your titty.
Shoulders
You know what I mean? Yeah, right? Like, and no man in sight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's,
Mentions off.
but that's all. But did you have, so those were your red flags?
Oh yeah.
For your son? For the
Yeah.
Yeah.
girl he dates? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I said.
What about
That's
you?
hilarious. There's a lot of good discourse, but red flags. I guess to kind of finish off the point about the dress, like, I'm in a unique situation. Obviously, I'm raising a young woman. I grew up with sisters, but I'm also a man. And without just putting too much of myself out there, let's just say I was very aware of what I could and couldn't do when I was dating. I think that if you feel empowered by dressing more revealing, you don't know what empowered is, number one. Like, those two things don't even connect. As far as, like, when I think about my daughter, red flags from a man would be, the real truth is women get caught up in words. You need to watch his actions. So I don't care what you're saying. A man is going to show you what he wants every day. The truth is, and this is what we use to our advantage, is you guys lie to yourselves more than anybody. And when I say you, I mean women in general. We don't have to lie at all. You're going to do it for us. And we were talking about intuition before this started. The truth is just like you guys know, we know. So when I see a certain type of woman, and yes, how she dresses is a direct reflection of how she sees herself. It's just a fact. So when I see it, I know what I'm going to get for you. And I've been saying this a lot, but people don't know the difference, specifically women, between attention and
Actual options.
Or like value.
Right. Attention and interest is the two words that I would use.
Yeah.
And a lot of women get attention and they're blinded and they say, oh, this and that, but you don't understand what interest
I could have
looks
a man
like.
anytime I want.
Yes,
know
you
what I mean?
could, but you don't have a man who's interested in you. Just because I
This
want to
person's in
sleep
my
with you,
DMs.
yeah, it doesn't mean I'm going to give you anything of value to me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's finding somebody that's interested. If he's not actually interested in you with actions, and all of the things that you guys are talking about is show up respecting. When I'm interested in a woman, I'm looking their dad in the face, showing up at the door. I don't have
hands.
my do-rag on, right? If you take it away from a
Yeah.
girl and talk about a guy, if I walk into a store,
That's
me
if
and
she's
Troy,
got a dad.
right? Me and Troy walk into a store, right? Troy's dressed like that. I'm dressed in a do-rag and a hoodie. Who do you think they're going to follow around in the store? Me or him?
Yeah.
both of us, because we're black, if we're keeping it real, right?
be
They're
honest.
following you
For different
first.
reasons,
I got
but
a
they're
cowboy
following me,
hat.
right? And
They're like,
notice,
this is
I'm not
cowboy.
saying like I feel less empowered or you're discriminating against me because I dress. No, I know that how I present myself matters, and for whatever reason, there's this feminism movement or whatever where you can do what you want. It's a lie.
Yeah, the
Like
accept
how
me
you
as I
present
am.
yourself is
Like,
how you're going to be seen, and you need to deal with either the good that comes with that or the bad. This whole he's not allowed to think that. You're not allowed to think what you think, right? Like this is what's going to happen, right? I think people shouldn't treat a black guy this way, but guess what? This is what happens. It's a reality, so you need to accept what it is and decide if you're going to deal with it or not.
Yeah, it's the whole accept me as I am. If he don't like me this way, he's insecure. All these other things that women
gay.
throw around that. Yeah, and it's like that would be like me sitting there saying,
You're like,
I'm
not
gonna
gay.
stop. I'm gonna stop working out.
Oh, a lot of things that I'm not gay.
I'm gonna stop working out. I'm not gonna shave or get my hair cut anymore. I'm gonna spend all day playing video games and eating snacks, and I'd still deserve a bad bitch. Take me as I am. You know what I mean?
You'd be like, no.
Exactly.
No, I know. I
So
agree
so
with you.
but women get to parade around like whores and expect this top tier man to pick her and only her. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you got to make it make sense. It has that doesn't make sense because you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't pick that person, especially if you were in my shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or vice versa. I wouldn't pick that person if I were in your shoes.
And you wouldn't want your child to pick that person.
Right.
Like if you put it on that
Exactly.
role. Like,
But
would
I
you
mean,
want your daughter or son to do that?
you nailed it on the head, and I think that's the biggest thing that women don't pay any attention to. Like you said, intuition, all this other stuff. Like I knew he wasn't shit and all that other stuff. I was like, well, what the fuck were you there for 6 years?
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? On top of that, actions. That is how men are extremely logical. So we are deductive problem solvers, and we're going to move with a purpose, right? So the purpose initially is sex. After that, if you have to show some effort to us. You have to make us feel that you're also interested, that you desire us, that you want us, that we want to feel sexy too. We don't get catcalled. We don't get called handsome.
No DMs.
We don't. Yeah, our DMs aren't flooded. We're not getting hard eyes with every fucking selfie we post. You know what I mean? Or fire emojis. Like we don't have that. Even the handsome one. Like, don't get me wrong, it happens to me, but not often. You know what I mean? Not as often as it does for women. Like you guys have unopened DMs right now. You know what I mean? And so you do have to show some effort. But once that effort is shown and we are showing interest, like he said, that's what you need to pay attention to. Don't listen to shit that this man is saying because
Interest over attention.
the actions that he takes is what's going to show you that he's really into you. And that's what, I mean, I totally agree. That's what you should tell your daughter. What about you?
Well, I have a son, and so I would say red flags to look out for is laziness, for one. Just like not even having. Well, he's 14, so they're in school. I wouldn't expect her to have a job or anything like that, but something like you're not just like sitting. You're like doing something. You have some kind of forward
Hobby.
movement, like
Initiative.
some kind of initiative, whether that's like church or sports or just like something. And then I also put loyalty, and I put loyalty / gossip, just because in this age of social media, it's like, can you guys hear me? It's like, my whole relationship is on Instagram or whatever, Twitter, or TikTok, like whatever it just keeps rising to. And I would just be pissed if my son's girlfriend was like
Dragging him on.
Putting their
fuck
business
no.
out there.
Yeah, you got the wrong witch. Like I would be.
Time to fight, little girl.
Yeah, I would just say like look out for that, because like women talk, like Jessica's my best friend, so of course I tell her everything, but I don't Instagram everything, right? And so I would say that those types of people are red flags, because I talked about this last time I was on the podcast. It's like you might be like fuck this guy, but then you're literally going home to him.
Yeah.
And so like that's where loyalty is, and like gossip. So I would say that's a red flag, because you're not gonna just drag somebody and then like decide, okay, I'm over it, and like let me just delete that post after.
Yeah.
Like, so
No,
many,
keep
you
it
just
100.
Already out there.
Talking all that shit and then go back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
you just-
Having me sitting there like,
Like, cause your son's a fag. Shut up, bitch.
what about you?
I have a son. For me, manners and respect. Like you come in and you greet the parents, the elders is a big thing in our family. I also wrote down not open to learning our culture. I'm big on our culture and the practices that we have and the things that are woven in, whether you're part of the culture or not. But if you're just not open to learning it or just like start,
Especially if it's like long term.
yeah, that would be a red flag to me. Like if she was outside of our culture or not, we just have really deep practices and then things that we've passed down from generations with their ancestors and not being open to learning that, that would be a red flag to me. I'm not saying she has to accept it or be a part of it, but at least be open to like coming or like, hey, we're doing that thing again this year. Do you want to come and see it and be a part of it? That would be a red flag to me.
I think that's a lot to ask of a person. Like a whole lot to ask of a person.
Well, long term, no, I don't think it is.
Even long term, like it's pressure. It's pressure for one, putting on your son to find somebody who is either involved in it, in the culture,
Not involved,
Just
but
like
not
showing
open to
some
learning.
interest.
Well, what I'm saying by is if you're going to put that pressure on that woman to uproot her entire belief system to entertain yours. And like the reason I say is because you're saying it's a red flag. She can still love your son and be there for him and be a good mother and a good wife with have nothing to do with your culture. Like when you guys go do those things and all that other stuff, like have nothing to do with it. Like it's not what she can sit there and say that's not how I was raised. I have a completely different faith. I don't want to be a part of it. But that doesn't mean she's not a good woman to your son or whatever. But it's also a lot of pressure because if you're going to dislike that woman for not wanting to entertain it, then he has pressure to pick a woman that's already in that realm.
And that's semi-valid because I would almost want to sit down with him and ask, this is a red flag to me, but what are you open to? Like, is that something that you value too and you want to make sure that they're a part or open to just coming to these things we do yearly? If he's like, I kind of don't care, Mom, if she likes that or not, or doesn't want to learn it. I think it's a matter of me respecting that in him too. It'll be a red flag to me, but I got to sit down with that feeling. And if he tells me, Mom, I really don't care if she's open to learning or not, all right, I got to respect that too.
I saw a reel today, and it was a Korean woman and like a man from like England. Have you guys seen it?
No.
I'm sure they've been together a while because it was at the wedding. But for a year, he secretly learned Korean to be able to talk to the family that came from Korea.
He did.
And he had a whole he talked the speech like in English, and then he's like, I learned a few words for them. And
it was not a few words. It was a
whole speech to them, and it was like, oh my God. And so the elders got up and shook his hand and hugged him and stuff. And I don't think right away off the bat, but culturally accepting it to where they're not making fun of it, because they could still be open to learning. What are you guys doing that day? I'm okay with not coming, but what is it?
That's fine. That's
how was it? How did it go?
That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that.
Culture shit runs deep.
Yeah, I didn't say he had to bash you for
Shit,
it.
if your mom taught me how to make tortillas from scratch, I'd be in there. If it was tamale making day.
Oh yeah, we do tamales
Sure,
every year.
and if you're open to it, great. What I'm saying is I don't think that's not a fair red flag to your son and or whoever he chooses. Is all I was saying. I can understand why it's a red flag to you, but the thing is that family isn't huge to everyone. Because a lot of you said that. What's his relationship like with his mom? What's his relationship with his parents and all those other things? And it's what if he doesn't have a relationship with them? What if it wasn't a healthy child?
For her son.
Huh?
You're saying it's a red flag for her son?
No, she said that it'd be a red flag if the girl wasn't open to entertaining it. Okay. Coming. She used the word coming, coming to the get-togethers and these type of things. And it's if she isn't into that's not even remotely part of the way she was raised, to expect her to change all of that. And especially if your son loves her regardless and she treats your son the right way, period, that's not fair for you to put that pressure on her. And it's not fair for you to put that pressure on your son to pick somebody who is willing to do it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now, this doesn't mean that she, like she said, you don't have to bash it. And it would be really cool if she did take it upon herself to learn some things and show you, like, hey,
The effort would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But to write her off, like, she's a red flag because she don't do the way we do it.
Right.
That's
It's about
No,
respect,
that's
right?
not. Yeah,
Like,
no,
just
it's not
respecting what that
asking
culture
her
looks
to
like.
do it the way we do it, but yeah, being respectful,
respecting it, yeah.
open, like, oh, this is the day you go do that thing in the ceremony with your family. Okay, cool. Let me know when you're done. You know, it would be
but that's
nice
it.
if she
I
was
think-
there.
I think
and
any
took part.
I think
but-
any partner would do that. You know what I mean? Like,
But
yeah,
think
good-
about
it's a
why.
good one.
I guess think about why you started this podcast, because there's so many women who are like set in their ways, not moldable, and you talk about it, and I feel like it triggers a lot of women to hear like, oh, we need to be moldable for a man. We need to be open to learning your way, and we're like, no, you're gonna learn my way. And I feel like there's so
Yeah.
many women out there that are like, no, I need a man to do A, B, C, and I'm like, that's a son. Like that's someone that you're
Or a
raising. Just
dad.
like you said, if
Or
if
dad.
if
I
the
was
woman
just
is
gonna say
learning
that,
more
dad, yeah,
from
for sure.
a man, or if the man is learning more from a woman, what did you say?
Oh, that it
on the
brings
last
resentment.
podcast?
It
Yeah.
brings the man will end up resenting the woman because that's not his victory. That's
Yeah.
her victory. She,
It's like you're
raised him.
teaching a man to be a man, like the woman.
yeah, she's
right?
not going to be fulfilled.
Yeah, but the woman being
can't respect him.
being able to like soften into her feminine because the masculine is present. So I was just saying.
But this
like,
is what I'm saying, especially if her
moldable.
son doesn't care.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying with the pressure of it, because now that's what he's going into a relationship. Well, my mom said. Well, my mom
yeah.
said. You see what I'm saying?
For sure, that would be pressure on a woman to like
It's
live up to a
pressure on
mother's
both.
standards.
You know what I'm saying?
Not his.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
he's like, well, you know, it's not going to make my mom happy. Like, I don't give a fuck about your mom.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
what do you want?
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's what I was saying. I would be open to sitting down with my son. Yes, it's not all about making me happy. What makes you happy?
Yeah.
Do you want her there? Do you want her to learn this stuff? Well, Mom, I really don't care. Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
That's
That's
okay.
all I was saying. I was just saying it's a
Yeah.
lot to ask of somebody to do that. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people who are extremely religious don't date outside the religion, because
Yeah.
it's like this is my faith. This is what I believe wholeheartedly. And
Yeah.
if you're not on the same page, we're not going to
Well,
work.
tamale making isn't religion.
It doesn't have to be tamale.
Depends on who you
but,
ask.
but I mean, just the whole family oriented thing in general. And I mean, I guess that's just me harping on it in particular because I don't have a close knit family, so I don't care. You know, and you may run into that. There's people who are orphans who are really good people and they don't have family to go to, and they may not have those same kind of bonds, so it's not as important to them.
What do you
But
think
they
about
might change and build their own family. You know what I mean?
Because you
Yeah.
have a close family. So like, what do you think about it?
I think you need to accept people for who they are and where they're at. And I think you got to that point, but I mean this respectfully, who cares what you think? If he's rocking with this girl for whatever she has that fits what he wants, whether you accept it or not, he has the right to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
now he's
Right.
a man
Like,
making his own
I don't
family.
Yeah,
even think you
I'm not
need
in that
your parents'
relationship.
acceptance, etc. Right now, you can want to respect your parents' wishes to some degree, but you should do what makes you happy, right? My ex-wife is in school. She's a principal, right? She wants my daughter to go to college. I always say, if my daughter doesn't want to go to college, she's not going. Like, this isn't even a conversation. Who cares what you want? It's about what she wants, because she's the one who's got to go
It's their
through it.
life path.
Yeah, we're raising humans. We're not. I know it's our kids, and we say all
not
this stuff,
making
but
mini-me's.
what you really want, hopefully, is to raise these people who can make their own decisions on their own and feel comfortable in their own skin. And you don't do that by babying them and telling them, "Do what I want you to do." Like that's like.
Well, that's I want to.
You can suggest or give ideas.
Well, I would even. It's it's such a tough one. You need to direct your kids in a direction.
No, of course, but I can't tell you what to do either. Right?
True, you can't
Go to
but-
college.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe
I can
You see what I'm
suggest
saying?
it. I think this is a good route for you.
Well, yes. What I'm saying is find out what your child's good at and direct them in that.
Yeah.
And
Totally
make
agree.
them do
Lead
that.
them in that.
Because I mean, you look at Kobe, Serena,
Tigers.
Tiger. You know what I mean? They, from a very young age, Michael Jackson, they were given direction on what to do, and they became the fucking greatest. You know what I'm saying? So, because you can't just leave a child up to their
But it was
device.
what they were passionate about, and I think that's what matters.
True, but I mean, well, maybe they weren't. Maybe it was something that they were forced to do. You know what I mean?
That's
And
fair.
and the passion came because
That's fair.
you can't get good at something and not like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know anybody who's talented at something or good at something, even if it takes time to do it, to where you hate it. You know what I'm saying? So you should give your child direction. But they also don't need to live for you.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And for your validation. Right.
Did you say your red flags for your son and daughter?
No, we hadn't got to do. She was still doing.
Oh, okay.
Red flags for that I would tell my daughters to look out for.
Men. I'm just kidding.
No.
Doesn't apply, is it?
Facial hair. No. Shit. Yeah, for real.
It's all loud. You're trying to be really quiet about it.
Let me start with my son. Red flags. That whole boss babe mentality. I don't need a man in the ultra independence stuff. I would tell him to stray away from that, because if she has zero desire to be led, then you're just going to have a constant battle.
She won't respect him.
Yeah, and male friends. That's a good red flag. If she has a ton of male friends, then I would tell him that it's probably not your first option. And then for my daughter, look for a weak man.
Look for a weak man?
No. The red flag would be somebody weak and or unskilled. Like he has to have some type of skill in something. That would be the biggest one. If he has no skill, he's not going anywhere. Yeah. Like he has to be good at something, or focused on something. Right. So whether he's dedicated to sports or his schooling, or maybe he has a talent, maybe he's handy. You know what I mean? I would tell her that's a green flag. If that man is handy, then that means that
smart.
Yeah, that throughout your duration of the relationship, he's going to be able to fix things when they break, which is a value, because when you're handy, most people aren't. So you have unlimited charge power. You know what I mean? Like plumbers, it's so wild to me that a woman will overlook a plumber based on the title. He says, I'm a plumber, yet he's making $140 an hour because you have no idea what's going on under that sink. Right. You know what I mean? Like it could be a fucking washer. Yep. You know what I mean? It could be a washer. It could be a cracked PVC pipe, and he's charging you out the ass because you have no idea what's going on.
No, I can agree with that. My dad's a mechanic, and we save so much money on our cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we really don't know. Like we're just like, okay, we'll pay it.
Exactly, because you don't know. Yeah. So yeah, those are green flags. So yeah, red flag would be if he has no skills.
Can't change a tire.
No skills.
How do you change this oil in the car?
There's a lot of men that can't. There's a lot of men that can't change tires.
But if he can pay for it, that's an irrelevant question.
Boom.
Right.
Bingo.
I don't know how, but I know where to take it.
And that's where the phrase "it ain't tricking if you got it" comes from. That one took me a long time to understand, because I was just like, no, you're just still spending money on dumb shit. Yeah. But the thing is like, until you actually get some money, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like when you have excess money, this isn't tricking. It's just excess cash. Like,
take that.
Right? Why are you mad that I'm able to blow this on some dumb shit? And then you wanted to know where to find a good man or woman. Did we start? We started over there last time. So where would you? You can do the woman one. Where would we find a good woman?
Church. No.
I mean, but you can be a God, but like some of the churches are.
No.
I know a lot of hating ass bitches, Christians.
Depends on the church.
It depends on the church.
Let me not offend anybody with that.
Ooh. You know, I'm gonna go with a bookstore. I know that
should
sounds
go Barnes and
corny.
So
Noble.
find a woman at a bookstore.
A bookstore, and then like depending on what aisle she's in, like what kind of books she's looking up, maybe I would say a bookstore.
Yeah, look for the women in the Kama Sutra section.
Oh my god.
She's at Fascinations if that's a bookstore.
No,
Right.
not that bookstore.
She said not
Got
that
books.
bookstore.
It does have books.
They have books?
Or even like markets, like
Yeah, step your freak game up.
So like I've just been going to Barnes and Noble.
like the
They have-
markets
they have
where you
everything
can
in
like
Fascinations.
buy bulk fruit and vegetables and like
Like a farmer's market?
a
Trader
farmer's
Joe's?
market. Yeah. Like
So
those
fries bitches aren't good girls? They gotta be farmers market girls?
No, the outdoor farmers markets, the ones that are looking for the good
Like
bell
on
peppers.
She's up at like 7 a.m. getting the fucking
Yeah,
You hear that?
a woman
You hear
that's
that, guys?
waking up.
Man.
She went to yoga first.
Stop
Yeah, she
picking up
went to-
bitches at bashes. You
Trader Joe's?
She's
gotta get
supporting
the
local.
farmer market on.
Trader Joe's, Whole Foods,
Foods.
Sprouts.
Sprouts, yeah. But yeah,
Farmers
like
markets
You're
on
welcome.
Saturday mornings.
And they're up at 7 a.m. post yoga getting those fucking 10-pound.
Yeah, getting
Potatoes and
local
shit.
coffee
Yeah,
from a little
like-
food truck.
So you're looking for an unstable, traumatized woman who isn't healed yet.
Nah.
You want, like,
She's not hungover from Friday night, apparently. She has her priorities straight that she's up on a Saturday
An early
morning.
riser is what we're looking for.
I
Yeah,
know.
somebody she's also going to support local to get a little coffee and like do, she's not
Katie, co-ed
sleeping in
breathwork
till fucking
circles.
1
Yeah.
p.m.
Co-ed breathwork circles.
Right?
So that's it, guys.
This
Hippies.
is
You
great.
go look for hippies, and
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
find a good girl.
That's
what I
she's
got.
barefoot. She's barefoot. What, you
Dirty
didn't answer
feet.
You didn't answer for a man, or did you?
oh, he only asked me for the woman.
Yeah, just
Oh,
because
okay.
she wants to know where to find a good man.
Okay, so how do I answer for women?
Yeah.
Yeah, where do we
find
find good women at?
We're good women like you at.
The crib.
Where can we find
I'm
you?
at home. I'm
like
at
behind
home.
my locked
Yeah,
door.
I'm at home.
Come break in.
Like,
Throw a rock at my window.
no, like,
With the radio above my head singing
like,
to me.
oh my god, I would love that. No, like,
Right?
you guys know I would fucking love that.
You'd be
Okay.
like, get on your knees now.
Yeah. And like, sing me the Ready to Die album acapella. Go.
You're like, I say yes, I do.
Yes.
We could just get married now.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Okay, so where do you find good women? I mean,
See, y'all don't even know.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You notice what they're coming up
Gyms
with.
or hot yoga.
I'm not into women like that, so
But you,
Where can we find you?
do you know good women? Where
Hell
would a
yeah.
man look for a good
Hell yeah.
woman? That's what we're asking.
I agree with Consuelo about
Fair.
like farmers markets, like yoga classes. He says hot yoga, like yoga classes. They care about their
Yeah.
body. Gyms,
Hot yoga.
kind of gyms, depends.
Small gyms, I feel like
Smaller
would be
gyms,
better than
yeah,
big
like
gyms.
more local gyms.
Not commercial for sure.
It's hard. It's hard to talk to women at yoga.
Like the Foundry.
It's extremely difficult to talk to women at yoga.
The Foundry small.
Have you talked to women at yoga?
Quiet.
No, but women at yoga don't want to be talked to. Women at yoga don't like that men are there.
No, that's not true.
I feel like they're no.
They-
I feel like they're like this is so
Women,
active.
women like the yogi who's there, who can do the splits and headstands.
Oh no!
not
When I
about
went
just
to my
doing
hot
splits,
yoga,
though.
I was looking around at
It's
what
not-
men were
no,
there,
I
and
would
I was like,
disagree.
maybe
Yeah.
yes, no.
If
I
a
feel like
guy's
a
at
man
yoga-
who's
Absolutely.
willing, a man who's willing to go
Yeah.
to yoga, even if he doesn't fit the demographic, I feel like they'd be like,
Just because mobility is really important. So just even it is.
he's not just doing chest press
Especially
every
like
day.
we're not fucking 22 anymore. So like a
Teddy
mobility,
Mac knows.
a mobility baby there. For sure yoga. Even just like melting pot spaces. So like coffee shops, they're like working. They're like melting pot spaces. They're at fucking talks or spoken words or something like that.
Poetry night.
Shared spaces.
Shared spaces. That's the word. Shared spaces.
Small live music.
We're gonna
spots.
do ours lives. Where would you find a good woman?
if I knew the answer to that question,
You'd have one.
I'd have one.
She's like currently finding out.
Currently looking.
She's
So
like
just
currently
yoga.
vetting.
So go to yoga.
They're at church.
Yeah, no. I've had no. So like I've had a
didn't say that.
horrible
My horrible
experience
answer.
with like men and women when I went to church, and not so much with. So like I'm not gonna name the church, but there was a couple of married men in the church that were leaders.
Getting down.
Yes.
Confessional.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still men. I know that we put the whole
Listen.
church thing by it. They're men.
I mean, hell, in the Bible, all the important men had concubines.
Come
So
on,
That's
man.
right.
Not just
Right.
up, if we're gonna talk about it.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't.
And it says that a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. It didn't say man finds one wife finds a good thing.
Right.
Where would
Maybe-
you go to find a good woman? Like, where would you scope? What would be the first place you would scope?
The internet.
Mutual friends?
Teddy
Like,
Maxx
I'm just-
at nail salons.
No, not even
Getting her
nail
feet
salon.
done, but
Like,
she's
I
getting her
have
feet done?
Well, I could
have
appreciate
no
a guy
idea.
that's there
Nope.
getting his feet done.
I'm
too.
going to second that, Teddy. But first of all, what the fuck are you doing in there? Second of all,
Taking care of his feet.
Looking for a good woman. Hello.
okay, that's fine. But you have to look at what she's getting done to her nails in order to
Like, look at the nail
gauge
shape.
if
Look
she's
at-
a good
look at the
woman.
nail shape.
Okay. Oh, are we
what I'm
gonna
saying?
go into that conversation?
If
What does
she-
your nail shape mean?
If they're too long, if they're clicking and clacking and all that other junk, like, no.
If there's like a fucking teddy bear hanging out for that
Yeah,
nail.
if she's
no.
getting money tattooed, painted on
Right?
her and all that
She's
other stuff.
all get money.
Yeah, I mean, because you can tell, you know what I mean? Like, you know which ones at the nail salons are strippers. But go ahead, continue.
We should go to speed dating. Do they still have those?
I don't know.
I
They
don't
do.
see those.
Probably.
They do.
But we're not 40, so why would we
Some
know
of us
about
almost are. So.
Have you ever tried it?
No, but I want to. I'd be open to it.
I didn't know they.
it? I'm almost 40.
I think no, but I think
I
that
did speed dating, remember?
So
I
there
went to
was-
that bar.
Yeah.
how was it fun speeding?
It was an experience for sure. But I like stuff
That sounds like it wasn't fun.
No, I mean
It was an
fun.
experience.
Yeah,
It was
no,
What
it's
type
weird.
of people
Fun
were
to me
there?
would mean that
Anthony
like
can make anything
I
an
won
experience.
something, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but it was a.
Oh my
gonna
gosh,
come out
you
Every
guys.
time I think of speed dating, I think of 40-year-old virgin. It's just
Exactly.
like,
But I
The
love
name's
meeting
Gina.
tons of. And if they're not attractive,
Is that
like
your name Gina? No, it's China.
China.
it's Gina.
So
Did-
if they're
did
not
the whole
attractive,
female
do you
thing-
just skip
if
that
I'm not
one?
attracted, no, you still talk to them. But like,
What if you just? I just picture Anthony just being like, nah.
Right.
More
I
power
definitely
to
kept it
you.
very,
Keep them
like,
feet clean.
Teddy, let me see those
bro
feet.
status.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Send us a feet pic, Teddy. Man.
Right? He has feet finder.
Right.
He's got a feet OnlyFans.
Right.
Get your bread.
Please do your thing.
So you don't know where to find a good woman. What about you? Farmers market.
I know. I'm like, I would
Farmers
have
market
one.
and yoga.
Yeah.
But I would say the ones that we've had that were like good women were like either like mutual friends or we like already knew of them. Like, kind of like running around in like the same vicinity.
See,
and
and I
then
agree with
made
that
their
too.
way.
And nobody's introduced me to anybody. I'm like, y'all don't have people.
I literally have like 3 friends. Is wrong.
Yeah, I feel like it's like more so like hearsay or like, you know, someone's like, hey, my, you know, especially like, because if I'm looking for a woman being bisexual, that's like a certain person, right? So if someone's like, oh, I've heard of their situation, I'm open to it, I would be down to hang out with them, or I'm also into women, because that kind of like narrows down some things. But yeah, I would also say like the internet, like there's
Okay, but
some
what on the
good
internet?
women on the internet. I would say Hinge over Tinder. Tinder is like Walmart and Hinge is like Target.
Yeah.
Tinder's like Food City.
I always say tender on accident. I always say tender on accident.
Yeah, I would say if you want like a guaranteed hookup, go to Tinder.
Tinder.
But if you want someone like to get to know and is possibly even more pretty, because Tinder is just like free for all. Like I have given up hope, and
See,
I
I've
hope
tried all
something
the dating
lands.
apps, and
Right
yeah.
now.
I get
Yeah.
I get so I'm done with dating apps. Like I got it for maybe like 2 weeks and then I deleted it and I'm like, fuck it, I'll try it again.
I feel
And
like
they
with women too, I feel like they probably are at the gym and they probably are at farmers markets, but women have become so fucking stuck up that they're like, I don't want anybody to talk to me, but I also want to find my soulmate.
Talk
And it's
that
like, bitch, who's gonna fucking find you when you're so unapproachable and you have a stank face and you're rude as fuck to everybody? So I feel like a lot of people just need to clean up their fucking attitude.
Yeah.
And
Cheers
maybe
to
you'll
that.
find someone, even if it's a man or a woman, because like we've all talked about, attention versus interest. You think you have the whole world ready to fucking date you, but you've been single for 6 years, or you have these little situationships where he takes your car all day and you're paying all his bills. So
I've got a question before we go back around. What is a good woman? And we'll start with you. Give me 3 qualities that make a good woman.
3 qualities in a good woman.
I went to high school with her.
That's my dog.
That's my dog. She was my dog.
3 qualities in a good woman. She knows how to spell.
Knows how to what?
Spell hippopotamus now.
Like
so-
she knows your, and your.
Oh, where did
Or your and your.
Just
or there,
gives
there,
her like
and
a
there.
quiz the first day, like a 50 fucking question.
Yeah.
Paper up ready.
Multiple choice either.
You notice that she like cleans up after herself, especially
Ooh, I
like
love
if she's like in your car, or if she's at your place but like leaves just shit all around and like leaves a mess. Like just considerate. I would say considerate. And I would also say a good woman is kind, is really like friendly to like she'll hold a door for someone, or she'll like be just like kind to like staff, because say you meet them at the gym, or say you meet them at a restaurant, and how they are interacting with the people around them, or they're like, do you see all these fucking people, or you know, they're starting to like judge people or gossip like right away. I'm like, absolutely not, gotta go. So yeah, what I say, like kind, considerate, and some type of fucking educational, like some type of intelligent, because if you can't handle the conversation, I'm a Gemini, I'm gonna pass immediately. So
What is a good woman?
For me, emotional intelligence, attentive to what's going on around her, people, that sort of thing, and kindness.
What is emotional intelligence to you?
Ooh.
Thank you for asking that.
right.
Loaded.
Once you said it, I looked at you like I'm about to ask that.
And honestly, I mean, go ahead. You can think about it, but yeah, I mean, that's the biggest fucking buzz term thrown around doing this podcast online everywhere. But go ahead. What do you see as emotional intelligence?
So for me, is being able to process your emotions without like lashing out on people, and also being able to read your partner's emotions and understand, you know, your partner is going through some stuff if they are or whatever, but just really being able to feel and process your emotions without lashing out.
Do you think majority of women are good at that?
No. I think the majority of women are horrible at that because we lead with emotions. I think if given time, like I used to be really bad. Like I used to lash out and everything. Now when I'm mad, I take a second. I'm like, you know what? Give me like 10 minutes, an hour, and we could circle back to it. But I used to be horrible.
Yeah. The reason I asked that was because, again, it's thrown around a lot. And it's what women say that they're looking for in a man. And you touched on it a little bit by saying being able to observe and notice the partner's emotions. And that's kind of what I think women are trying to convey when they say they want an emotionally intelligent man, is know that I have emotions and how to deal with them. You see what I'm saying? Versus being emotionally intelligent, which is what men do on a daily basis, because men are more prone to violence. So emotional men end up in prison. Emotional men shoot places up. Emotional men hit people. Emotional men break shit. You know what I'm saying? So most men are extremely emotionally
Can you be
intelligent.
emotional and grounded?
Can you? Do you? I mean, that's.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, think about it. No.
I think you can.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can't. Not overly emotional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if
Because those people you were just listing sounds like ungrounded people.
But you can't exactly. So you can't be emotional and ungrounded, because if your emotions are leading your actions, then you're not grounded.
Right.
So as a man, we have to process our emotions and then make a decision based on what we're going to do. And sometimes men lose it, and you've seen it. You know what I mean? And that's when you see an
Is that what you're saying? They're
outraged
prone to
violence.
violence?
Huh?
Is that what you're saying? Like they're
That's
prone to
that's just men's
violence?
first thing.
That's something we have to be aware of when processing our emotions.
Yeah. Because that's what we go to. Here's the difference. Plain and simple. An emotional woman may cry or talk shit. An emotional man may talk shit. We're not crying. It's going straight to violence. You see what I'm saying? So, for instance, and we have to process that because when in an argument with a female, especially with that venomous mouth women have when they're mad at you, we have to hold back and suppress our initial reaction to an emotion, right? Me and him have that same kind of conversation. No more fucking words. We're throwing hands. You see what I'm saying? But we're not allowed to do that to you, and we know that. So we have to process that emotion. We have to back out. And I mean, hell, I've been there. I don't know if you guys have been there or have ever done it, but like a man will sit there and be like, "I'm done with this shit. I'm out," and a woman won't even let him leave.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like
Literally.
he's trying
Blocking
to
the door.
leave, and she'll
'cause he's,
block
like,
the door.
fuming.
Yes, exactly. Like
I'm done.
I need to get the fuck out of here
Trying to
before this
detach.
escalates. You know what I'm saying? And she won't let him.
Trying to be emotionally intelligent.
Grabbing
Because
you,
if you
pulling
keep pushing
your
me, I'm
clothes.
going to fucking punch you.
Has that
Yeah.
happened?
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't know too many men that haven't been through that. Absolutely.
Too many times. Women are.
I've been that bitch. He almost called the cops too, and I was like, "Go ahead, call them," and he did. I was like, "Fine, fuck it, leave."
I'm like opening up my notes.
But also something
Better
I
than punching her in the face.
wanted to say because I've played sports, and so men they can go on the court with a friend and like be ready to fight, talk shit, and it's the game. Get off the court, they're totally fine.
Yeah.
If a bitch said some shit to me during a game, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I fucking hate you after this game because we take the emotions with us, and I've been ready. And there have been times where I've cleated bitches because of things that they said, and I had spikes on my cleats. So men, emotionally intelligent, are like, this is a game. And I'm playing, and
We can even
I'm about to say,
actually
you actually
fight.
become friends or closer after that.
During
That's
We
what
can
I'm
actually
saying.
fight on the court or on the field and be cool
Or
after.
they can debate, and like when I first started dating him, especially being a barber, he can have like heated conversations and then be like, "All right, bro, see you next week, same time." Like I'm like, I thought you guys would
like,
never
fuck
talk
that
again.
bitch.
Because women, if I had that same conversation with a woman or a man, like I would be so emotionally involved that like my heart rate is up. I'm like sweating. I'm like, oh hell no, ain't no fucking way this bitch is gonna talk to me on the field, you know? So I think about the emotional intelligence like that. Like, damn, a man knows that he could overpower a woman physically and he doesn't, like 9.99999 times out of 10. And like women will do the like stop, like we'll hit, we'll talk shit, we'll do whatever. Sometimes we'll hit harder, whatever the fuck, and we're like,
Some of us break noses.
but I'm a lady and I can,
break noses.
right?
So my mom always told me if someone was threatening me in my face,
Damn, good to know you got a skill. You know how to break a nose if you have to.
no, never. But see, like I won't ever like allow myself to get to that point because I realized in those moments that he took my power. It was never me showing anything. It was he was taking my power from me. So never get to that point again.
You gave him your power.
Yeah.
A growth.
I mean, if you want to show me after, like what
I know, right?
leverage you took,
The
like,
technique.
you know, just so I know in future.
What is a good woman?
I would say we're doing 3, right?
Yeah.
I would say loyal.
Ooh.
Loyalty's really big. Attentive. And I mean attentive as in like listening because, you know, I feel like you should make hella effort to know your guy. If he's like, I don't like this, I don't like that, and you're not like, you expect him to know you, but you don't know him, and so like we should be actively listening. I think that makes a good woman because also we should just be, you know, taking those mental notes if we expect you guys to take those mental notes. And then I said nurturing, but there's obviously levels to that because we're not going to mother, or we shouldn't be mothering our partners. But there should be some level of
Femininity.
yeah, I can never say that word. I was totally gonna dance around that because that word. Yeah.
Feminine-ness.
Yeah, like
Feminine.
so I would say like I believe like men when they're going through shit like they need their space, right? Like they want their space, but I would say it's also really important to be like, hey, I get it, like go do your thing, but I'm right here if you need a so that's like as far as like nurturing. So there's levels to that, but not
Talk that talk.
not going overly where you're like mothering and like hovering and like, you know, because you guys are gonna be good. It's just like, hey, if you need anything, can I make your day easier? Can I make this moment easier? As far as nurturing goes, so
You're good
Those
at
are
that.
great ones.
yeah, she's very.
You think so?
She's a Venus in Cancer.
I know. I was made to do that.
This girl washed my hair one time. I had an injury. I had a gym injury, and she washed my fucking hair, and I was like, yeah.
I love like cooking
It
for
was like-
people.
it
I
was-
love if they need something done.
I purposely come over here hungry all the time, all the time.
What you making?
No, literally, I'm like, what are you doing?
Have the kids ate yet?
I'm like, Cameron, go tell mommy.
Go tell you what macaroni and cheese.
What is a good woman?
I wrote down qualities, thoughtfulness, and remembering important dates. Like if you know your partner's mom died on a certain day and you know that day's coming up, like remembering important dates. And then I just wrote down also rooted in love. Everything you do is somehow comes and it's rooted in love.
Well, I would like to say that throughout this conversation and some of the answers you've given, it's a little clear why you're single. You're you have zero clue what men want. You're a little delusional.
He's like, I'll tell you what men want.
Like, to be perfectly honest, everything you wrote down, don't nobody give a fuck about that. We don't care about any of that. What she said is she nailed it. They had some good ones, but
I learned the hard way. I've done a
Me
lot
with
of,
Troy, I've
you
learned
know,
some things.
Yeah, like I've done so much healing, so I was definitely. I get it.
like, see,
It's
what
always
you
fun.
named are things that you would find attractive. Like a man being that attentive to you, remembering the important dates, remembering big things for you. We don't care.
Don't give one shit.
We don't care about none of that. We need you to be.
It's cool, but it's not like a.
Yeah, it's not a,
like thanks, but like.
If you date a woman, then maybe.
yeah.
Or like, you know, like when I say thoughtfulness, it's like, oh, I know you're gonna have a busy day, so I packed you a bunch of snacks.
I feel like it's the reverse.
See, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
That's
men,
the thing.
like,
That's cool, especially when it comes to like gift giving, because if you have a man that's leading, he already has other things that he wants. So if you give thoughtful gift, that's pretty cool. It just shows that you're mindful of us, and it is nice to have that. But it's not like I'm with this girl 'cause she's so thoughtful, bro. You know what I mean? It's we don't care about those things. We need sex, submission, silence, sandwiches. So you want good when it comes to good woman,
In
cook.
that order?
Yes, sex,
Sex
submission.
was first, right? Yeah.
You better
Sex,
eat in
submission,
silence too.
silence,
Don't
and
make noise
sandwiches.
when you eat that sandwich.
So what I mean by that is like you want to be thoughtful. What's thoughtful for us is when I walk through this fucking door, don't talk to me for 20 minutes.
Man.
so the reason he says that is because we've come to there's like scientific proof or whatever, but there's a book that my mentor she suggested it to me, and I'm thinking it's like something to grow like spiritually or like personal growth, right? But it's called Keys to the Kingdom, and it's actually about being a feminine woman with a masculine man, like, and it's so you're talking about culture and things passed on, and so that's what the book is about women passing on femininity to their daughter and then the granddaughter and you know so on and so forth. And so that's one of the things like right off the bat is because then we take it personal and we're like, why don't you want to be around me? Can I hear about your day? What happened? How was lunch? How was that thing at work? You know, and they're like,
I think we learned that the hard way. Like it's a fucking process.
And so I read that part and I was like, oh my fucking god.
You're all like,
no, but she says that men can't multitask. Their brains can't the way that they work, but women can. We have tabs open all the time. We're like, I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to, okay,
I got
the
a baby
kid
on my
here.
hip.
But we're like good with it. So we think that they can. However, they're like work mode, home mode, guy mode, sleep mode. Like it's just like in it when they're there. And we think it's like, you should be able to be like me. But it's like, if we want someone like us, we should just be with a woman. But if like the whole feminine,
like
masculine, like yin and yang is like, okay. And then it's crazy because then they actually come to you. So I've been, testing out this book and it's like so accurate. Like when you follow like these like feminine guidelines, all of a sudden they become this like, they lead. they ask about your day.
Yeah.
They're like, why haven't you hit me up all day? You know?
But they like miss
So
you.
you guys
They
don't
miss
care.
you
So
when
if
you're
we
not,
like
there.
totally override your birthday, totally forget your birthday, you guys don't care.
That's not
That's
something
not
that you should forget.
important
That's not an
date.
important date.
They don't care about anniversaries. They don't care about we don't even have one. Like of course it's his birthday, but I'm like, what do you want to do? And he always
what did I
says
tell you?
don't, but he also says don't make it personal about you. Because I'll be like, well, I want to do something nice for you, or I want to throw something, and he's like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
There is no hidden message in that.
It's
If it was
his
a
birthday
woman,
today.
yeah, if it was a woman,
Facts.
yeah, because you know how women are like, I don't need anything.
And we have like birthday
Don't be
ones.
crazy. Don't do anything special.
Oh my God.
In our mind, we have a hidden agenda where we're like, you better fucking do something special.
Yeah.
But men usually they're just like, yo, I would love like.
We're
but
just
they-
different.
Yeah.
You guys lead
Men and
with,
women are
with,
so different.
with mystery. You know what I mean? Like the same way you want something from someone is the same way. It's just the lies. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're a liar, but you lie to yourselves. You lie to each other. So it's like when you say something to us, just like she said, "Oh, I don't need anything." All this other stuff. You know damn well you need something big. When I say I don't want anything, don't get me anything. You know what I mean? I literally,
Like, don't
the
surprise
only reason people told me it was my birthday last week was because she posted it and Keenan posted it, and I shared it. Outside of that, it didn't matter to know. I didn't care. I didn't want anything. You know what I'm saying? So when we say something, that's what we fucking mean, and that's why like that stuff doesn't matter because again, we need sex, silence, submission, sandwiches. We're extremely simple, and it drives
simple.
women crazy that we're not
we're so
more
complex.
complex.
Yeah.
You
But
got
I
all the
would
tabs
say
open.
now, I think that's what I'm saying now,
Tabs
like
open.
attentive, because it's like make note of that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what
No,
I
you
said.
hit it on
Exactly.
the
Spot on.
head.
I would highly recommend those books. They're about like some
a
of them.
great book.
It's like $50. I feel like it's because the wave of like feminism that has, you know, we teeter totter from one extreme to the other, from like completely at home, barefoot and pregnant, to now like, you
I
know,
can do
boss
everything.
babe. Yeah, and so there's like this middle ground. But one of the things that it does say is that when you learn this information, you are forbidden from using it against a man. Because if you're gonna learn about hundreds of years,
Because it's like the
of-
secret keys.
yeah, it's the secret keys to being a woman for a man and not being independent of a man. And like when we do that, it's crazy because we see the results, but we're not doing it in like a malice way. Like we're doing it because we want a harmonious relationship. And a lot of times, you know, women want the drama or the gossip, and we're like, why can't you be what I want you to be? But it's really like, what has the man asked you to be?
Yeah.
And so when you get around men, it's like, okay, what do men want? And then they tell you, they're like, I don't think that's right,
It's
right?
Just, it's a
But
really
he
good
legit
book.
just told you,
Yeah,
this is
so
what I
even
want,
just the-
and I was
even
super
the-
clear.
It's definitely worth the read.
Yeah,
It's
fit,
definitely worth it.
feminine, friendly. Like we hear that and we're like, oh, like, but what else? Because you're liking all these other girls' pictures on Instagram that have this, and this. Attention
Interest.
versus interest.
Yeah.
They may like that. They like the visual of that.
Well,
that
fuck
doesn't
it.
mean
I
that.
don't wanna
yeah.
do it.
I'm not going to bring you home, but I'm definitely
Yeah.
hitting.
Yeah, and so then the sex, submission, sandwiches, and silence, we're like, oh, you want me to be quiet and not have my own opinion? That's not what they're saying, right? And sandwich isn't like, and it's
Don't
like,
tackle me when I get
think
through
of
the door.
think of it when you would come home or like you would smell something being made, and it's like, oh, I'm home and I'm safe. And I know that I can have something to eat, and so all this stuff is taken care of. Like if they're taking care of the world, right? Because they're at a battle when they're out in the world, and they don't want to come home to another battle. And like these books are helping so much, just for a lot of women that I've heard have read them. Because then there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
The next one is like something code. I can't think of it right now, but I would highly recommend them.
Thank you.
Listening to men and what they want, and it blows our minds because we're like, no, but it has to be something deeper than that. But it isn't.
And I appreciate your honesty. I do, and I respect that.
It's just part of doing the work, you know.
He's
It's
like,
just part of doing it.
I've been analyzing all your answers, and man,
I mean, that's what I do. What I understand about doing this podcast, talking to people, people responding to the clips that I post, and having those conversations. Not only do women not understand men, they don't care to understand men. Most women do not care to understand men.
At all.
They only understand to like their level.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a simple. Not even that. They don't care because of the outrageous amounts of attention that they get from men. So since they think that they have unlimited options, even though it's just sexual attention
And not interest.
they think that I can have a man anytime I want. It's just that the ones that are hollering at me, I don't want. I mean, that's how crazy it is because you have so many men offering you things that it's not even attractive to you. It's the man that you can't have that turns you on. You see what I'm saying? It's the man that is not being nice to you that arouses you.
Yeah.
That's why women like men in relationships.
Yeah, you say you want this, but you respond to this. You see what I'm saying? Because there's not a woman out here that can't have a very peaceful, nice, easy relationship if she would just answer one of these DMs. You know what I mean? Because men are typically as faithful as their options. So if you want this tall, handsome, funny, charming, successful, romantic, dangerous, exciting, spontaneous man to be faithful to you, you're fucking high.
Yeah.
You're high. Because he has options. Just like you have options. But the difference between you and him is you're selective with your sex. He isn't. Because he doesn't have to be, nor does he want to be. Men like variety. Women like quality. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So you want the best man. We want the most women. You know what I mean? And it just frustrates you that we don't think the way you do. But here's the real big twist that fucks you up even more. If we were like you, you would leave.
We
Immediately.
couldn't respect you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can't be led, you don't feel safe, and we're too fucking emotional. And now you're like for instance, that's why divorce rates are higher amongst lesbian couples, even though it's the most egalitarian, equal relationship there is.
Really?
Yes, they're higher. Domestic violence is higher.
Fuck yeah.
I can see that.
All of these things, and most bisexual women want a man for a long term. They just like fucking with women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's the things you hate in men are the things that draw you to them. You know what I mean?
No, it's true. You gotta acknowledge it first, though.
So you have to understand that, again, we're not complex. We're so simple. It's so easy to keep a man happy, which is why most men don't leave relationships. Majority of the relationships that you're in, you broke off. Or that you've been in, you broke off. You, like you said, he said he wanted to separate, but you made the initial decision. I can do better than this. I don't deserve this, all this other stuff. If he really wanted to leave, he was going to fucking leave. If he really wanted to leave, he was going to leave. Because the two reasons men do leave is you fuck somebody else or you become an insufferable bitch. And insufferable could be a lot of things. It doesn't mean that you're naggy. It doesn't mean, it can mean. But if you let yourself go, if you stop paying any attention to me, if you don't do any of the things that I ask you to do, then you're insufferable. And I don't want to be here anymore. And that's the only time men actually leave. But it's so difficult for a man to acquire another woman, another good woman, that we typically work shit out and stay. You know what I mean? Even though we want to sleep with other women. But when we have a woman, we, like, the same way women are selective about who they let in their body, we're very selective about who I'm finna take care of.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not giving my money to just anybody.
Yeah. You know, like, so...
Yeah.
Or my resources, however you want to look
Yeah, resources, all of that. You know what I mean?
Or like time. Like I'm not.
Time,
That's
yeah,
my
you know
resources.
what I
Time
mean?
is currency.
Something I wanted to say, because it came to my mind earlier, was, because you know how we're all like in this personal development world of like, don't take constructive criticism from someone who hasn't constructed shit. And I think there's a lot of people listening to single, unhappy people to give them advice on how to be in a happy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are like, either it's like their single mom, their single dad, or just like someone. And I'm like, how are we actually getting like real advice from someone who's like happily married? Or what is even your goal, right? Like, is marriage the goal, or is a relationship a goal, or what is the goal? And so all this, there's so much information on social media that it's like almost so consuming. And I was talking to my group yesterday, like, I'm like, how many things have you saved for later and you have a saved folder you never look
And
at?
you never look at it.
Like, how many...
Pinterest is that way too.
Right, and how many things do you say, how many books do you get and you don't read, or journals do you get and you don't write in? And I'm like, you have all of these resources, but you don't want to learn them. You just want this like instant gratification of this is the relationship, this is how it's going to go, you're going to do exactly what I say, and the bare minimum is paying for my nails and paying a bill right off the bat. Like, bitch, that's not how a fucking relationship gets off the ground. Like, so where are we getting this advice from? Unhappy single people.
Unhealed.
Unhealed for sure.
Yeah.
Unhappy,
A lot of women
single
give each
people.
other piss poor advice because you guys, like I said, you've been lied to since you were a little girl.
You lie to each
You lie
other.
to each other. You lie to
My friend's
yourselves.
cute. No shit.
And men lie to you. You know what I mean? Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a big lie being told. My friend's bad. No, she's not.
and misery loves company. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
Everybody like, oh, I could never. This, and that. Like your life's great. Like, bitch, you're going to work every day and you fucking hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because the ultimate goal is like your life path, like your success. And that's going to be very different from maybe someone else. And so just like when people talk about like in the fitness world, like follow a body type that's like yours. So it's like attainable. And you're like, wow, if they went from here to here and that's just like mine, that's what I should be following. Not someone who's like, if I'm 5'6" and I'm following a 6-foot girl who's like, you know, Victoria's Secret model, that doesn't make sense for me to be
not attainable.
idealizing. Yeah. Like, so even in like a relationship way, it's like, how do you make that work? And so that's why I really like that Keys to the Kingdom book. It's because it's like, there's like marriages or there's like unions. And I think it would be great if we got back to that as a society, but everyone's just like, fuck everything and going their own separate way. And I'm like, who's actually happy? How many people are on antidepressants? How many people have anxiety, depression, don't want to go outside, don't want to interact with people, don't
Avoiding
have friends?
Avoiding the motherfucking work.
Yeah, avoiding the actual work.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, make it make sense is like, what are we actually fucking doing? And are we doing it self-serving, or what are we doing to like serve the world, or like be in purpose, or like on purpose with a meaning behind something? And even something that like changed me as like a mother and in a relationship is like changing the what do I get to what can I give? Because if it's always what can I get, I'm always going to be disappointed. Always, because we're setting ourselves up with this expectation that it should be something, when really it's like, are you actually seeing the blessings around you?
Yeah.
Because then what you're getting is in return is greater than you could even imagine.
Right.
Because it's like outside of that
Expectation.
box. Yeah, it's outside of the expectation.
Right.
Yeah.
need a button that says bars.
Bars.
I was in that space last
Good
night.
job. Good job.
She spits hot fire.
That's my girl.
Received.
Holler.
Okay, so what was the question of where to find a good? Okay, yeah. So where?
And then
Where
you
do you find
said
a
you
good
guys were
man?
gonna go last.
Well, yeah, where to find a good?
Good
I
man.
wanted to know what you guys thought a
Let's do
good woman was, because I can answer that too. Where to find a good woman?
That's easy.
And where to find it, or what a good
Reverse
man
it.
is.
Yeah, and where? Well, yeah, we can answer that too. But where to find a good woman is the internet, definitely one. I think Instagram is the biggest dating site there is. Pay attention to what they post. Pay attention to what they wear. Pay attention to the amount of followers they have. Pay attention to the amount of time they spend on it. But a specific place. I mean, I thought the nail salon was kind of cool, but again, for the majority of men, what the hell are you doing in there? Most men don't get their feet done. Not that it's a problem. Not saying that. But most men don't do that. And I mean, in coffee shops, like, so, you know what I mean? Like at farmers market, also so, you know, I know so many people trying to heal their trauma and trying to get better, but just because you're trying to eat better doesn't mean that you're a better woman than the mom or just the person who can only afford fries. You know what I mean? Instagram or dating sites or whatever, yes, vetting them and seeing how they are, and then mutual friend settings. That's where you're going to find somebody good, because if they're good in group settings and they have good relationships with the people that you hang out with, and they're single and you guys can vibe and all that other junk, that's a good person. And then also podcasts.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You come on podcasts, like having these kind of conversations, you definitely get to see somebody's mind and how they work, and you can. So like that's one of the things I want to get do a little bit more of when people actually fucking come is I want to have like a segment of a his and hers. You know what I mean? So like almost equal amount of guys and girls, so we can, you know, and shit, we can hook people up on this.
You
motherfucker
can do like
right
a speed
here.
dating
Oh my
right
God.
on live. You can do like
Troy
a
hosts a speed dating. I'm
get some-
signing up.
we could get
put
some
my name on that
relationships
paper.
cracking.
Troy's like, you're on with the horn, like right in there, like time's up.
Or like nailed it.
Right.
They like leave. They're like, okay, we're gonna go hook up right now.
Where's your extra bedroom?
Right.
But a good man is a man with some skill,
Yes.
a man with frame, and a man with confidence.
A man with frame?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What's that mean?
Frame is
That's literally
It's
what I thought.
better than
the
air mattress.
headboard.
it's kind of it's synonymous with confidence. A man who's
Okay.
aware of who he is and what he brings. You know what I mean? And somebody who sticks to his word. Like that's huge to me. And that's with me with interact like somebody I'll consider a friend.
Yeah.
Is if you don't stick to your fucking word, then you're worthless to me. Like that's one of the, at least with men, I don't expect women to stick to their fucking word. But with men, that is a huge trait on if you're going to be somebody that I can count on or somebody that I want to put trust in. Is like, there's so many phrases. These cliche phrases are not just for cliche for no reason. They have so much purpose to them when you really break them down. You know what I mean? You reap what you sow. You dig into that. You cannot complain about the things you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Right? So another one, word is bond. Or all I've got is my word. Or you know what I mean? I'm a man of my word. That shit is so important.
Yeah.
For me to pick a man as a friend and for you to pick a man as your mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Even if I don't want to. Because that is what being a man is because
It's a huge reason.
9 out of 10 things we do a day, we don't want to. But we have to. Even when you have a normal job where if you're a subordinate at any of your jobs, that's like women get so pissed off with the word submissive, but men are over here submitting to another man who could be weaker than them at their job, who could be less intelligent than them at their job. But this is my job. And I have a job to do. So I have to follow fucking directions, even though I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge one to find a good man, is a man of his fucking word. And to where to find these men? At work. At wherever they work. That is where you find a good man.
So date my coworkers?
You could, well,
A good
you
man
could.
is a
go to,
focused
like-
man, though. Like I feel like good man is a focused man. Like he's not fucking around. He's at work.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't even have to be your coworker. You can talk to and flirt with the man at the places that you go to. Because that man has a job. That man has a responsibility. That man is handling his business.
What type of jobs?
A doctor.
No.
A plastic surgeon.
Plastic surgeon.
No, because that plastic surgeon's going to be fucking all of his nurses. And
Busy as fuck.
and yeah, exactly. And,
Disconnected as fuck.
I feel like busy, not in my business all the time. I feel like that.
Like, sounds good.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Has money.
but
You said a plumber. So
yeah,
construction
even in plumber, like no, like somebody who like a man who's doing his fucking job.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Sales.
You
I
get paid.
would say sales for sure would be.
Yeah,
a
be
green
careful
flag.
because they're slick.
Hey,
No,
they
I
pay
I
just-
told
real
y'all
well.
red flag was a Verizon.
No, I just feel like
Pays
having
real
a
well.
good conversation is very, very attractive. So it's like the man can lead the conversation via sales and is like a very successful salesperson. That would be
Sure, but here's the thing. This like you want to talk about where you meet a good man. The reason I say work is because no one is flirting with him. But if you do, you've made his day. You have no idea how far I like your smile. You're very handsome. Goes for a man.
Yeah.
That made his fucking week.
yeah.
Month.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where you're gonna meet him because A, he's already doing something you need him to do, working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And B, he's not out in the streets. You're not gonna meet him at the club. You're not gonna meet him at the gym because at the gym he's fucking raging with testosterone and looking at bad bitches all day. He's horny as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Pre-workouts.
Same thing with yoga. That's not a good place to meet a
I feel
man, even
seen.
though it might be a good place to meet a woman. But
He's like,
all,
"This is such a
all
safe
a man
space."
is doing in yoga is looking at the most flexible bitch in there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we're moving through things.
hilarious.
So literally at his job, you if it does. I mean, I'm not. If you don't want to work or date a barista, then don't talk to that guy. But you know, if you stumble across the manager at Lowe's, he's making decent money, and if you know, flirt with him or the manager of any store, you know what I mean, or whatever. But a man at work is a good place to find a good man. What did you have?
For where to find a good man? I agree with you at work. I'm a big believer in what I call referrals, meaning who you know and the people around you, right?
Like no trust factor.
Huh?
The like no trust factor. A good referral.
I don't wear socks. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't wear socks in my damn bed.
I
That's
do.
hilarious.
I've got pretty feet naturally,
Yeah, I
dog.
definitely ain't doing
My
that.
feet get fucking cold, so
But no, but referrals to me is the best. And here's why. Number one, the people who are referring you generally know who you are, so they can give a better reference. And the facade is way less than any other way. And I think that's super important. And also, your friends of influence aren't going to hook you up with somebody that they don't think you're a good fit with. They're comfortable with saying, no, that's not a good idea, right?
Yeah, they're not going to put you. Your good friends aren't going to put you in a bad
there's
position
no chance for that.
on purpose. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It
And
could
they might
end
mess
up.
up.
Yeah, it could end up being.
But for the most part,
they have good intentions.
yeah,
behind
they
it.
have good intentions and they have a general clue of what that will look like. As also where to find men. I think you should find people with things that interest or align with you, what you want, right? Like, I'm a gym person. I might not necessarily have to find somebody in the gym, but I do want to find somebody who's probably, let's say, health conscious or likes to eat a certain way, right? Maybe you don't go to the gym, but you're a health nut and you eat really good. That's cool. So I think finding things that interest you. I'm going to make a huge generalization, so don't shoot me, but I think a lot of women think they want certain things, but aren't really aware of what they want. So you're like, oh, I want a guy who acts, I want a guy who makes a lot of money. Like, you want the idea of that, but you don't want how that man's going to treat you. You actually want the dude who's making $55,000 who's going to come home every day and rub your feet and adore you. Versus the guy who says, oh, I can sleep with XYZ every other day, and you're getting on my goddamn nerves, so back up, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
But that guy turns her on.
It turns her on, but she can't admit to herself that's not actually what her heart wants or can deal with.
But that's what they respond to.
No,
That's
of
the problem.
course.
That's the
Trust
biggest
me. I
problem.
mean, and it sucks for y'all. Like, for me, like a man, I know that, and I can use it to my benefit. I'm serious. I can use it to my benefit. But for a woman, they're, oh, I'm hurt, this, that, etc. But it's like,
you picked him.
You picked him, and you chose to accept it. You gotta sign up for what you're willing to deal with. And I think men understand that. Like, I'm not going to deal with somebody who's unsufferable. Like, there's just no way, right?
yeah.
You guys kind of tend to, bend on your boundaries, etc., and then mad when you do. So,
Yeah, once a woman shows me who they are,
believe it.
you have no other chance to show me who you are ever.
Yeah,
again.
believe
It's like
the card
noted.
that's shown.
I literally just posted that yesterday.
And what would your 3 things be that make a good man?
Men are about respect. So if other men don't respect him, that says a lot. I think you would say that actually the same thing with women. A certain woman who moves with class and grace.
Definitely.
Like, women are haters in general to each other. So when they respect somebody, and you can tell, respect doesn't always come off as like a dormant. It might come off as a hater, like, oh, this girl did it. But there's a certain respect there. To me, I think that's the biggest key. Another thing for men, because to me it's about respect, how others are seen, and then how you treat people that can't do anything for you. Like, as a man.
Yeah,
that says a lot about a human in general, but specifically a man. Like, if I'm a sales director, if I treat the person who answers the phone as kind of like the concierge a certain way, it says a lot about me.
Like the janitor.
Correct. I believe that when you move a certain way, you treat everybody with the ultimate respect, and that's in general a great sign of a person
that's a good person.
You can really step into and believe in and grow with.
I would say also for a man, another one is, it's hard to gauge, but what he does when no one's looking.
Boom.
You know what I
Has
mean?
habits? Like his habits when nobody's.
Well, just anything,
general.
like, you know, like for instance, like, just the things that he does for other people, because that's kind of what it is. When no one's looking and you're still doing good things, like that's a huge quality that you want in a person. Period.
Right,
You know what I mean? Basically, doing what needs to be done without being asked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a better way to word it. So that's what you do.
Being a great man is thankless
Yeah.
to a degree. So you have to understand that. And I don't mean this by any harm. Like on Mother's Day, right? They tell mothers how amazing they are, et cetera, et cetera.
Don't nobody give a fuck about Father's Day.
No, like you don't. It's very rare that you hear somebody be like, "Oh, he just watched the kids. Great job," right? Like we don't get those same accolades.
We don't
And
even
it's
get
okay.
to run around saying we're independent men.
No,
That's just
no,
a
we're
man being
adults.
an adult.
Yeah, so it's totally different, and it's okay. We accept that.
Yeah.
But you have to also understand that stepping into it is like, as a man, as a great man, most of the things you do won't be recognized till you're dead. And I know that sounds super morbid, but
Or
that's
until
just
somebody
a fact,
gets
right?
in your shoes.
When a woman can walk around the mall and not think about anything, you don't realize what that man is thinking about. You know what I'm saying? I was actually telling my girl the other day, she's like, I want you to be able to relax when we go out. And I said,
No.
you don't want me to be able to relax. Because somebody comes in here
Then
shooting
you can't relax.
and I'm
Yeah.
relaxed, right? We're gonna die. Like my head's on a swivel.
You're like, you're not
it's-
carrying me out of here.
Reminds me of that TikTok of
And
that
we
girl.
signed up
The
for that.
guy's like, there's an exit there, and the girl's
That's
like,
a
da, da, da,
that's.
da, da.
Yeah.
You see how,
100%.
but you see how you're laughing? Like that's a very calm reality. You
And it's
guys
Yeah.
thankless. You know
genuinely
what I'm
have
saying?
no idea,
Yeah.
and don't even be of
How
color.
much of
What?
protector
It's
mode
dangerous
you're
every day we
always
leave
in.
this house, and that's just normal life.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, I mean, even that, like the unattainable, unrealistic things. Again, statistics. Men are way more likely to get violently attacked
yep,
jogging at night,
yep.
being by themselves. But women will be like, "Oh, if men didn't exist, I would run with both my headphones in my ear." Like maybe just don't go jogging at 11 at night, because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You know what I
sure
mean?
wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, things that you guys never fucking think of. Like, it's become such a habit that I don't even realize that I'm doing it anymore. But I caught myself doing it the other day. I went to a restaurant I've never been to. There's a lot of windows, and I had to wait for my food. I was getting takeout, and I strategically pick where I sit so I can see everything in this fucking place.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
each
Oh,
door,
yeah. I
all of
never
these
sit
things.
with them.
And as soon as I sat down, I was like, I need to go back to the car and get my gun. I didn't, but that was my first
That's
fucking
your
thought.
thought.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's your
Like,
thought.
because those are things that I have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, with the kids, everything. I you know, but yeah, it is thankless. It's not just that. It's the
And it means a lot. It honestly means a lot to be able to like, you know, turn our brain off and be like, we can't just like walk through the mall like that. That shit means a lot. You know?
But-
Sorry, we don't say it enough.
Yeah, I think
Just wanna
that
say
men.
thanks.
Yeah, I think that men are taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men and like appreciate them.
Well, women need to respect men, and men need to protect women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that men in general naturally want to protect, right?
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
it's innate in us.
ingrained.
We don't
Yeah.
feel right in general not doing it.
Yeah. So if they don't,
In general.
then something is
That's a
off.
red
right.
flag.
If they
we
don't want
we need to be needed. If we don't need to be needed, we're
Yeah.
probably raised by a single mother, because that's just what we're built to do. Like, it's not even a problem for us to give you everything that we have.
Yeah.
Like, I told her the other day, one of the manliest fucking feelings you can have as a man is handing your woman money.
Yes.
Just straight up cash. You know what I mean? Here's extra money that I don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
But guess what? You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here is money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't work for this. Here is money. You do with money as you wish.
Here is
I can see. Did you say it like that too? I can see that.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
because you feel like a fucking man. Like, I worked my ass off, bills
Yeah.
is paid, got all
We
this
connect
stuff
our
done.
money to our heart, right?
Yeah.
Like, so when we're giving that to you,
Well, money is connected to the heart chakra.
well, right, but that's why when we give it, it means something, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, there's different scales to that. Drake
Yeah.
can give money to whoever
That's
he
why
wants,
when
you know?
women cook and clean
Yeah.
and rub your back and
Yes,
be the
please.
big spoon, The big spoon all day.
Rub my back.
Yeah.
This move right here.
That spot.
Yeah, that's the one. Lay in the lap.
But I'm glad that there is this podcast. I'm glad there are like
Yeah.
healed women who are like giving men their
Yeah.
flowers while they're here, and like the appreciation that we give men. I just think as a whole there could be more education on like, well, this is how you should treat a man.
Yeah.
This is how we should also respect men. Because I feel like there's this line that gets crossed. It's like, well, treat a woman like a lady, and it's like, well, how do we treat a man like a man and not belittle him? Like how can we put him up and make him feel like a king, make him feel like he is important, like listen to him, because it's like, how many men actually talk about their day, or is it the woman just like overpowering on like?
Wouldn't you say it starts with what you digest? Because I've noticed this with a lot of people, especially on social media, and if you don't admit that you're guilty of it, you're lying to some degree. But like, what you're giving energy to over and over feeds your soul.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people feed themselves based off how they feel versus maybe where they want to go.
Yeah.
So you're feeding these narratives, men ain't shit, this, that, and thinking that you can live outside of that existence, even though that's literally the only thing that's in you and filled you up, right?
Yeah.
Like you purposely, like I can tell you my truth on like your For You page. There's certain stuff that if I'm spending too much time on, I know I'm not in the space I need to be.
Yeah.
So I'll literally click remove interest.
Yeah.
So it doesn't show up as that. But I don't believe, and I'm just going to generalize, women in general they're listening to stuff that solidifies their feeling versus actually where they need to be.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, oh yeah, men ain't shit, so I like this person and I post this, right? You see the little podcast that certain people post, and I'm like, I know why you're posting that, but what you're really exposing to a man is you're not willing to do the work yourself and evaluate why you picked ain't shit dudes the last 3 dudes. You're the common denominator. Like, when are you going to say, I was at fault? I rarely have met women in general that come out and be like, I was at fault.
I feel like I only know this shit now
Women
is
are
because
allergic
I
to
knew,
accountability.
I knew that I was at
It's a cuss
fault.
word,
Like,
yeah.
it was like things I had to unlearn. And the invitation for my group call last night for my coaching was for people to unfollow at least 5 accounts that aren't serving them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, are we even auditing what we're consuming? It's like you're eating trash, but wonder why your stomach hurts. And it's like, we think that this organism, like this brain, is like, it can have everything and still be. And it's like, no, birds of a feather flock together. So all this consumption of the things that you're also consuming online is creating like a personality of who
And then
you
the
are.
algorithm is just like creating more and more and more.
Yeah, and I told them, and I'm like, don't tell me that you don't like drama, but you follow the shade room, because those two can't coincide. Like, you can't say that you don't like this, but that's all you see on your page, or and it's
The
it's very
Kardashians, all of that shit. Like, you're watching
Yeah.
toxicity all the time.
Yeah, you're feeding that in.
And then don't wonder why shit's not working out for you, because that's all you know.
My For You page is like David Goggins.
right.
Like constant videos.
It's so weird though. Like
And reading books.
my Explorer page is nothing but fitness stuff and then ass and titties, but none of that shit shows up in my algorithm. It's all manifestation and business stuff. Like, why isn't that?
Like, no.
Why isn't that in my Explorer page? Like,
You have to speak it into your phone.
yeah, no, I don't even go to my Explorer page because it's just constant
crazy,
titties. That or fucking workouts, and I'm like, well, where is this shit on my feed?
Same.
'Cause-
Right.
Say, titty squats. All right.
Because that's all we need,
And a sandwich.
right? Well, all right. We're gonna go around and one thing you've learned today and one thing you liked, and then shut it down. 'Cause I gotta work tomorrow. And we'll start with you. One thing you learned today and one thing you liked about the show.
One thing I learned is I need to read The Keys to the Kingdom.
Immediately.
Scared me.
Wrong button.
Scared me. She's eating Joe.
Whoa.
Wrong button.
So one thing I learned and one thing I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being able to like go around and answer these questions like from our own experiences, but then being able to hear like everybody else's experiences too, because we all don't get woven the same way. Yeah, and then being able to like take in, like good criticism and like, because I'm definitely here to learn. I don't want to die alone.
Right.
And being able to talk this out with people that are open to receiving, helping challenge my thinking. So I love it.
Sensational.
So I always love being here. It's always a vibe. I would say just learning how to continue to be, like loyal, attentive, nurturing, moldable. I can just see my own growth and like having these conversations, and like I don't get triggered. I can just observe and absorb, and a lot like that was learned. Like I was not always like that. That was definitely learned. So
emotional damage.
real, just attach that to mine every time I'm just attach that to mine. So
What I like is the discourse. Twin knows this, but we have these conversations all the time,
day,
like
all the time.
super deep. Like want to just go there to have the conversation.
We'll
to
send each
uncover
other
things.
like really like what is it, like just really like hot topics,
Yeah.
and like what do you think about it? Like
Right.
what do you think about this? From
And getting
like,
perspective.
Yeah.
And that's why I think having friends of the opposite sex, genuine friends, is actually a life hack. But
Because he's told me
that's a whole
you're
nother
tripping.
conversation. But I enjoy having that discourse because I think it's super important. I think that most of us are following the wrong information, et cetera, and just listen to the wrong voices. So anybody who can catch on to maybe somebody's perspective or what have you is going to be beneficial. One thing I learned. That we're not as far apart as we think, per se. I don't know if I necessarily learned that, but
It was nice to see.
yeah, it's nice to see. And to tell you the truth, like I'll use Jess for example. Hearing a woman understand women specifically and like really talking about it, because if Troy says that or I say 3/4 of the stuff you said, women are like not listening at all.
Yeah.
But we say the exact same thing. It's a lot more powerful coming from you. So for me, I think it's just learning that there are people in that space, and the truth is, people just need to seek out that information, and they're just not. But I think that's what I've learned is that there are more people in that space.
Don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
One thing I learned is that men, in fact, are not slow. They just focus on one thing at a time.
Oh my god.
And
he like just cuts her mic.
and I honestly really enjoyed, talking with everyone. I think all of your like opinions and everything it's really eye-opening to how different we were raised, and still, I don't know, I just really value everyone's opinion and everything, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I loved it.
Good. What about you?
To your point that I can talk like this now, or that I actually am here, were the biggest pills I've ever had to swallow. And like my naivety, I don't even know if that's the word, like how naive I was, because I wanted to believe that I was right. And I wanted to believe that like, I was this independent boss babe, and I was attracting men who were mama's boys, couldn't do, they were just going half, or I was doing more than they were. And then I was like, okay, it comes from the household. Like, what did I see growing up? What did they see growing up? And then what is the magnet that I'm becoming to attract that? And so when you take accountability, because you are the problem and the solution. And so to be able to get to this like neutral place where you can actually like learn, because a lot of the time we don't listen to like hear them. We listen to respond. Mm-hmm. And just understanding that women and men are fucking different, right? Yeah. And so I love coming on the podcast and like remembering that I haven't always been here. I had to unlearn so much. And especially now being in a relationship for 6 years with someone who from jump has been open, honest, like about how he moves and how men are and how women, and like even like gender roles being like a thing. Yep. And some people might hear that and be like, I'm so offended. But I'm like, bitch, you're not happy in what you're in. So like, can we even just like put down what we think for a second just to open up to other viewpoints? Yeah. And so I was that bitch. When I say bitch, I'm talking about me, who I was before, right? Like I'm like, bitch, you just need to get your shit together, right? And so I love coming on the podcast, just hearing people you know, be able to talk and have good conversation and be honest with each other and open and yeah.
Nailed it.
Cheers to that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. And
That's what she said.
Twice.
Headboard or no headboard?
We broke it.
I love that one.
Teddy, let me see your feet.
we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, share, do all that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to see this because this is where we make it make sense. And we made a lot of fucking sense tonight. And if you want healthier, happier relationships, tune in because we can help make that happen. All right.
That part.
Speed dating's coming next.
Wow.